Hallo und herzlich willkommen, greetings and welcome, ich bin Hazard, in the 5th stage of the final summer tournament. I'm NightDarkWolf, I will be your host for today, and I'm joined by CoreData.
Hello.
And today we are looking at the top 4 players playing a round-robin bracket for the final 2 places in the finals in under a month.
So this is the penultimate stream. This is happening on January 3rd at time of recording. And we have one more stream, which will be the final stream happening on January 31st. So this is stage 5. This is a standard best of 5 conquest. So each player has 4 decks, 1 ban, and you must win on your remaining 3 decks. And the final stream, which is the 31st, will be a best of 11 between the 2 highest win rates out of this round 1 today.
Originally, in the final summer tournament, we had 8 players, but at this point, 4 of them are eliminated. Of course, I was the first to get taken out with City Tucker, and then in the last round, Eros and Nocturnal were eliminated. We see some points here which, from this stage onwards, do not matter, because the placement will be decided by win rate today, as Core has already mentioned. The 3rd and 4th places will be eliminated. So today we will be looking at this slide and we'll be updating it after each round. We are playing a round robin bracket, so everyone will play a best of 5 against all the other players. The rounds are in rows, so Endo and Rospidol and Megacat and CoreData will play in the first. We will spectate all the matches today.
Looking at the lineups, very interesting lineups from every single player. Some very funny statistics to point out here that we noticed while we were chatting before the before the stream, is that every single player has brought every single attribute. I think possibly for the first time ever in one of these tournaments, every player has every single attribute. So this is, I think, unheard of. It's very funny to think about it, considering where the game was at this stage. People kind of had centralized in a handful of decks. So yeah, very funny to see everything represented. And also, from a preliminary look here, it looks like willpower is the most represented attribute. Again, for the first time ever. Usually it's like intelligence or agility. So very weird to see this much willpower in a final stage. But as we get into the actual deck list, first of all, we're going to take a look at Endozoa's lists. Endo is very well known as an aggro player, and that is standing true in this lineup with a look at his aggro assassin list, one of the lists that Endo is most well associated with. This deck looks to basically go very, very quickly, aims to lean on cards like Seed-Ending Courier as well as Sentinel Reclaimer to use items to boost your damage output, and then seal up the game with Reach, Bolt, or Swift Strike. Next up, we have Aggro Redrun. Not too much to say about this, basically aiming to use a lot of the early Crusader tools, things like Markman, things like Relentless Raider, to push yourself into the late game, and then splashing purple for the handful of very, very powerful mid-game tools such as Sword of Revenge and Young Mammoth, just to give you big stats and big board swings. Very, very powerful list. Very looking forward to seeing this one. Then we have Dominion. Again, this is very similar to the Assassin list, but you get to splash green, which means you get to run Darkmane, one of the best 2-drops ever printed in this game. Very, very Endozoa list, just from looking at 3 copies of Ghostgate Defender is a very Endozoa, a very Endozoa choice. Ghostgate Defender, very, very powerful card, obviously. One cost, 1/3 that can also be removal in the mid game. So yeah, it's essentially a move monk with blue for things like Sentinel Reclaimer and the item package, as I mentioned before, similarly with the Assassin, aiming to close the game out with Reach, such as Lightning Bolt and Swift Strike again. And finally, we have everyone's favorite deck. This is Empire Aggro. We'll be talking about this list a lot over the course of this final stage. A relatively standard version of Empire Aggro, again curving up as far as Clivia and Raz, just aiming to stick stats early and roll a number of board-wide buffs. So first up for Rospidol, we have Midrange Battle Mage, a deck we actually haven't seen all that much of in the stages leading up to this. So nice to see it represented here. One of the best decks in throughout Legends history, and what for the longest time one of the best tournament decks you could possibly bring. So very, very cool to see it represented here again. A relatively straightforward list. One of the most interesting choices in here is Doomfang Ally. Doomfang was a card that had kind of fallen out of favor with a lot of top players towards the end of the game's lifespan. So very interesting to see Rospidol sticking with it.
Also, just to mention, Rospidol has always brewed Battle Mage when he was able to, but the other players didn't, and that's what's interesting here. Because normally Battle Mage was the most played deck, and not anymore. It's Aggro Empire.
So next up we have Move Archer, and this is a slightly more mid-range version of Move Archer, curving a little bit higher than your standard versions of the list, up as far as Raz, Double Belligerent, and Sheerpoint Dragon. A very interesting list. It's basically looking to leverage cards like Doom Smuggler early to generate big stat piles and close games out with Swift Strike. Also has a little bit of interaction in the form of Doom Ripper in the mid game, which can very aggressively clear aggro boards with things like Moving Shadow. So a very fun list overall. I'm interested to see how this actually plays out in practice. These more mid-range versions of Move Archer are not all that common, at least for the most part. So very, very interested to see this one played. Next up, we have a Rage Guildsworn, one of my all-time favorite decks. Glad to see Ross Pyrdal sticking with the mid-range stuff, playing a lot of the just good mid-range bulky units that Guildsworn gets access to, things like your Phalanx Exemplars, things like Thaden, for example. One copy of Guildsworn Oathman to give you access to the improvised weapon to let you rage on curve on any of your units, or any of your creatures rather, and a little bit of recovery in the form of things such as Fingers of the Mountain to give you a little bit of board control alongside Channel Storm. And finally, once again, we have Aggro Empire. Again, a very, very standardized version of the deck. Ross Pyrdal, just like myself, was big on the Osa package, so glad to see it once again make the cut here. 3 copies of Osa in the deck. And again, similar to Endozoa, curving up as far as Clivia and Raz. Next up, we have Maggacket, and Maggacket is playing a slightly slower lineup here, starting off with this mid-troll Guildsworn. A base version of like mid-range Guildsworn, a lot of like the mid-range early game, and then you're curving a lot higher into things such as your Mirax, your Manticoras, your Lanets, and Dawn's Wrath to give you a lot of board control capability in the late game. Next up, we have mid-range Halalu, a deck I think was a little bit slept on towards the end of the game's lifespan. Halalu just had access to a lot of very good rage targets. Just an interesting shell. Like I said, it's a solid mid-range list looking to leverage things like Monk Strike for healing in the mid-game, as well as a lot of the big willpower bodies, Phalanx Exemplar and Thaden, just to give you a little bit of card draw, aiming to land a rage and just end the game on the spot. Again, a very interesting list. Looking forward to seeing this one. And next up, we have a Alter Telvanni. This is a super grindy value deck looking to make use of Altar of Despair alongside things like Headless Zombie and Schemer to generate a lot of card draw, a lot of value. And then you journey in the late game to give you basically the second push to win the game that way. And finally, once again, we have Aggro Empire, another very, very straightforward list of Aggro Empire, curving again a little bit higher than I normally do with the 3 copies of Wilds Incarnate. 3 copies of Wilds Incarnate is very, very odd to see in these lists, but I do believe Maggacket brought this in the last round as well, running things like Edict to give you a little bit of interaction in the mid game if you start to lose board, or if your opponent plays like a Lava Atronach off of like a Mighty Conjuring, for example. So yeah, a relatively standard version of the deck, just with a little bit more juice for specific matchups. And next up, we have myself, and I am playing Mid-range Battle Mage, a deck that I am well known for loving. This is not the version of the deck I would normally play because I am a big Merrick lover, but I did decide just to bring a straight up standard version of Mid-range Battle Mage, just to be relatively better into a lot of the slower decks. Very straightforward build, nothing out of the ordinary to point out here, just a relatively well balanced version of the deck. Next up, we have Token Crusader, and this is the mono yellow version of the deck that I played in the set curve, but with the changes that I would normally have for regular play, not being kept to the specific curve. Again, very straightforward list, aiming to just go wide, spread buffs around with Captain and Divine Fervor and your Resolute allies, and end the game very, very quickly. Next up, we have Mid-range Redoran, a deck that we very rarely saw, but was actually not bad in very, very specific matchups. This is a deck designed to basically go up against what I was assuming was going to be a very Empire-heavy metagame, with things like 3 copies of Execute, things like the double Skavens in the mid-game to help soften off boards, as well as Cloud Rust Illusionists and the 14 Prophecy count to help you try and fight back versus the slightly more aggressive decks. So yeah, this was a more targeted pick for a metagame that I thought we would be seeing. So a relatively straightforward mid-range deck, but very, very targeted for the specific metagame. And finally, we have the 4th and final Empire aggro deck. Again, this is very similar to Ross Pyrdal's deck, but as you can see, my curve ends at 5. No need for Clivias, no need for Wilds Incarnates. I am all in on going wide roll Salties and spreading buffs. A very, very straightforward version of the deck. Again, playing 3 copies of Execute, just because we were expecting quite a bit of Empire aggro mirror matches, so the Executes find a lot of value. And we also have 3 copies of Moon Bishop as a little bit of an out there pick, giving you a little bit of healing as well when necessary.
And now just as a recap, Endo is playing Assassin, Redoran, Dominion, and Empire. Rospedal is on Battle Mage, Archer, Guildsworn, and Empire. Maggacket is playing Guildsworn, Lalu, Telvanni, and Empire. This is the only pure tricolor lineup. And then with Kerr, we have Battle Mage, Crusader, Redoran, and Empire. Is there any lineup that stands out for this stage that you think could win this whole thing?
It's funny, right? Because you have myself and Ross both on like the more mid-range side of things. Ross and myself both brought like at least two mid-range decks. I brought two aggro decks, and Ross brought three mid-range, one aggro. I brought two mid-range, one aggro. You have Endo that brought a full four stack of aggro decks, and then Maggacket on three slow decks and one aggro deck. So it really depends. Endozoa has the potential of sweeping this, but I'm not sure how well. It's really difficult to say because the lineups are very different across the board. So I do think Endo is in with a shout. Not only is Endo a very, very good player, but the lineup is very, very aggressive, and that might just be enough to get under what like the rest of us are trying to do. I do think Maggacket might be in a bit of a worse position versus Ross and my own lineups, just because we're able to go a little bit longer and we are able to weather a lot more of the mid game removal that Mag is looking to leverage. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go for Mag, but it's going to be very interesting. I do think if I was to pick a favorite here, it would likely be Endo, but I would say Ross is a close second for me.
And with that, we are ready to go into the first match. This is Endezo versus Rosperdal. Looking at the lineups, what will you ban in this matchup, do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised just to see an Empire mirror ban here, just because everyone knows how good Empire is, so I wouldn't be surprised just to take that off the board completely. However, on Endo's side, I'd be looking maybe at the Guildsworn, just because Rage Guildsworn is very threatening into a lot of your decks. They have a lot of very high statted guards that are going to like really upset your game plan. Plus, the Guildsworn has the opportunity to like raid you out of games if you go too wide, and Endo's decks all want to go wide pretty much. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Endo ban the Guildsworn, but it could also just be an Empire Mirror ban here.
Yeah, the Empire Mirror Band makes sense since the players all brought it, so they think it's a good deck. Also, I am looking at the Assassin and the Battle Mage because Endo's main deck is the Assassin. Rosperdal's very loved deck is the Battle Mage, so I will not be surprised to see those bans. And here they come. It is Empire on Endo's side and Battle Mage band on Rosperdal's end.
Yeah. The Empire ban doesn't surprise me, and we do see a bit of a respect ban here from Endo with the Battle Mage, because Ross Peardall, for those of you who aren't aware, Ross Peardall is probably one of the best known players as like one of the best Battle Mage pilots the game had seen. Multiple number one finishes off the back of mid range Battle Mage, so very very comfortable with mid range Battle Mage. So makes sense, and very much a respect ban from Endo side, I think.
And here we go, game one.
So
Eltmeri
again, in game
Dominion
one here,
versus the Guildsworn.
yeah, so this is going to be the Aggro Dominion versus the mid-rage Guildsworn here. Opening hand for Ross goes full ship here. Ships two Rages and an Illusionist. Gets back a Rage, a Seducer, and a Channel Storm. Opening hand for Endo is a little bit more tricky. I think you likely just pitch the Baron Zaya and the Pawnbroker, keep the Flameslinger. You're looking for more 1 or 2 drops here, I think. Given that Ross's list has a decent amount of removal, I don't think the Baron's Eye is going to matter all that much.
And we do
Does
see
pitch the Baron's Eye, does keep the Pawnbroker. Finds a Wardcrafter. Also finds a Gambler off the top. Rosperdal finding a Daggerfall Mage. Turn 1 Flameslinger.
One thing I like to mention about the Dominions is that they are good against other aggro decks because you have access to Drain. Although Endo is not running the Initiate, there is still the Better Reeve for the Drain value, and the Guildsworn that Ross is playing is, I believe, the only deck where it doesn't really matter if Endo has the Drain.
Yeah. Yeah, no, pretty much. Yeah, Dominion Battle Reeve is such a powerful 3-drop in aggro mirrors, just because it's always guaranteed to give you at least a tick of healing. So yeah, and plus it also threatens to gain you multiple health over multiple turns, either swinging in or taking Slay triggers. But yeah, this match is not where the Battle Reeve is going to matter, but we might see the weaknesses of Dominion come back to bite him here in this matchup, because Dominion's a deck that really lacks kind of staying power more so than any other tricolor. I think it's in my opinion probably the weakest tricolor in the game. So it's not really seen all that much competitive success over the years, outside of like a handful of very high roll decks or like hyper aggro. So it's very much a deck that will run out of steam very quickly. So Endo really needs to try and get over the line as fast as possible, and that might not be possible versus a deck like Ross's if he hits the drains such as the Seducer, such as the Nishit, or like any large guards, for example.
Well, the good thing for Endo is that he has the Anasi in hand, so this Drain Breakthrough will be stolen next turn.
Takes a trade with the Bone Broker here. Rapid Shot pings off the ward on the Dark Main. Like you're just going to see a High Defender come down. We do indeed.
And the next turn you can either double 3-drop or you could Alfeek. But there is a Golden Initiate in hand, which would mean I think it will be double 3-drop next turn from Ross.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about the way Dominion just runs out of fuel so quickly. Look at the resources on each side of the board here. Endo is empty-handed on turn 5 with no refill. And Ross has got plenty of options, but none that immediately answer the board all that well, at least not in Shadow Lane. Likely just going to see a Phalanx Exemplar come down to block up the Inasi here. But Endo can just play the Trader in Shadow, move the Darkmane to field to get in for 5. Does put the Darkmane at risk of getting traded out by the Seducer. But I do think it's the correct option here. You can take 2 into the Phalanx, get in with the Inasi, deal an extra 1. So you're dealing 6 here effective. Does take the 1. Gets in for 4. A Skaven for Ross off the top.
Execute is a bit dead at the moment, but could help you against the DFM.
I mean, if you're Ross, you could just take the trade and then just Belligerent Giant the 7/4. Or Belligerent Giant the 4/4, rather. Reset the tempo a little bit. It's not your ideal turn. But given the resources, and you know Endo, the last card in Endo's hand is not great because he would have played it otherwise.
You're one off.
See Danine.
Wait, no, Ross, like, if you go face, you need 1 damage. If the Flameslinger survives, that's 1 damage, and the Flameslinger is warded.
Ross can clear the Flameslinger here.
Problem is, if he uses the Rage, then the Traitor will go face. Oh.
Finds Cradle Crush. No, he can't clear the Slinger because he needs the Skaven. The Seducer is a 3/1. There's no other way here.
Yeah, and even
it.
with the Skaven,
no.
it will, like, the 3/1 will die. Oh.
Yeah, this is,
Just enough of
very close though. Yeah.
It's not a problem that you run out of cards because you won by that.
That was incredibly close though. Ross was very close to turning the corner in that game. Yeah, the Seeding Courier off the top did just kind of seal it up.
Yeah, I think
But
without
man,
the Nasi you would have lost. Because
Yeah,
then you
100%,
have to spend your whole lane just to clear the 3/6.
So we get into game 2. We're looking at Aggro Empire versus Aggro Redrin. Opening hand for Ross. I think you keep the Osa. I think you actually pitch Shadow Shift and maybe the Marked Man. Because you always want to ring Osa on 4. Pitches the Osa, interesting. Gets back a Cliff Racer and an East March Crusader. Yeah, I much would have preferred him to keep the Osa there. Especially when you're on the ring. As we see a Necro Amulet and an Eldora. I think if you are Endo, you take the Eldora here, yeah. It doesn't feel great though, giving your opponent, giving your token opponent the heal card.
Yeah, the thing is, this token deck cool, like, this is token mirror, therefore it could go very long.
Yeah.
But by that point, you're basically fighting for board. Therefore, the +1 health gain won't matter because like you will first build the board and then just go face, and then it doesn't matter how much health your opponent has.
Ooh, spear or ice spike? You probably take, yeah, takes the spear. Endo considering the defenses here.
This
Does
means
take it just
flank
because you
at you
can.
next turn.
Yep. Anasi off the top for us. Goes for a ring spirit in field. Plus defenses in shadow.
This clan captain plus steel scimitar. How much damage is that? 2, 4, 5, 7 damage. You could trade with the Haunting Spirit, but you don't need to. The buff will just go the other lane.
I mean, you could also just scimitar and clear the defenses. Yeah, play the savior, scimitar, clear defenses. Yeah, does in fact go for it. You have because you have defenses in field, so you have a turn to you have a turn before you can before you even have to consider as clan captain, since you're absorbing the spirit attack here anyway. You'll see E-Smash Crusader come down just as a body.
Doesn't draw yet, yeah.
Mammoth off the top. I mean, you can. So what the Crusader will get what +3/+3. Like you can sink 3 into the 1/1. You can play the clan captain, pop the spirit.
I think it will
No,
be
just
Young
go
Mammoth,
face. Who's
yeah.
gonna go for the mammoth line? Yeah. Cliff Racer for Ross, but he does have an active pit line in the hand now. Plus a gavel. Gavel clears up the mammoth. Takes a trade with the Dragon Tail Savior.
Oh,
Yeah,
he must be irritated now.
does switch off his pit line. Yeah. I mean, you can still ring the amulet. May as well get the amulet rolling here.
Raider.
This does give Endo the opportunity to remove this this spirit now. You can use just spear to clear the spirit. Just deny all the value.
Did you use the spear or did you just clan captain and raider? You use the spear because it's a better use of your resources.
Yeah, it's
you
much.
will have 6 next turn.
Yeah, no, it's just more efficient, and it doesn't cost you any board presence. Cliff Racer comes down, takes the trade. Rapid shot.
And now Endo will almost empty his hand.
I mean, you could just play Aldora. Aldora is an extra body because the Skywag comes out, right? Or does the Skywag only come out after the first Explorer? Yeah, it's after the first Explorer. Or the first Treasure Hunt, rather.
Yeah, what you could have done is not play the Raider, ping your 2/2, and draw just to summon Skywag, but this is better. But it would have meant that Skywag can attack for 2 next turn.
So Aldora triggers, Skywag comes out. God, I remember a time where Aldora was actually a playable card.
You have 7+2 with the Raider triggers.
Yeah, just get in. You just play your Bleak Ghost Troll in Shadow Lane and force Ross to have an answer. Because basically, whatever way this works out, you're only expecting him to heal 1 here from the Cliff Racer trade. There shouldn't be any defensive means that he can pull himself back into this. Goes for the Osa. So there is a chance.
No
The merchant develops
paralyze.
something here. Does not. Yeah, he needed something like a skin hound or like a legion shield or just something to give guard. But Endo is up, I believe, 2-0.
Yep.
So that means Endo has one last deck to play, and that is the comfort deck of Aggro Assassin.
Yeah, this is not something you want to be up against as Rospidal.
Yeah. Yeah, the momentum is firmly on Endo's side here at the moment, particularly now that he's up 2 games plus is on what we know as like one of his comfort picks. As Ross swaps over to the move archer. Endo looking at a hand of Ghostgate, Crown Quartermaster, and Harpy. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Harpy and the Ghostgate pitched back. Pitches back the Harpy. Keeps the Ghostgate while on ring. Fingers off the top. We're just going to see Crown Quartermaster come down.
Turn 2 Sadanin does not look half bad.
No. Yeah, I think you're playing like turn 2 seed and in turn 3 you can ring Ghostgate for the Exalt. Second Quartermaster is probably a little bit better here though. Lets you keep the seed and burst damage.
And then I think if you just sit in now and you ring the Quartermaster, that sets you up like you are the aggressor in this matchup. It depends on if you want to give cards to Ross. Alright, he does not
Go for the second Quartermaster plus double dagger. Nimble ally. Comes down and misses. 6 cards in the deck, by the way, that do not trigger the Nimble ally. One of them already in hand, which means it was a 5... There's 5 cards left in deck that did not trigger it.
Playing the Nimble ally in the Shadow lane means that he's signaling there is a move in hand. Fair enough here.
Ooh, Dune Ripper will make quite a big difference actually in the upcoming turns. We see the curse come out in the 5-1. Just remove it. Prankster Mage off the top.
Having the Scourge here was also impactful.
Yeah. We're just gonna see an Exalted Ghostgate come down to ping off the Scourge.
I would argue playing the Prankster Mage would have been just better. Because the 3-1 is getting removed anyway. So you could have Prankster Mage in the Shadow.
Cliff Racer is going to come down just to take the trade potentially.
Protect the Ashcan.
Ashcan the Punisher plus Bewildering Speed.
And there is a second Bewildering Speed in hand, so next turn could be Cliff Racer and then Bewildering Speed.
Yeah. Yeah, Bewildering Speed probably like the best card that ever got printed to support move as a deck. So powerful, being able to move two creatures at once for 1 is insane. We're going to see Dune Ripper. Dune Ripper ping off the ward, take the trade with the Baron. You could Bewildering Speed to move the Ripper out to keep it alive for a turn.
And move the... oh.
Interesting. Okay, leaves the trade with the Dune Ripper available. Gets him with the Punisher. Considering if he wants to give Endo another card here. Opts not to.
There is two
Temple Conjurer.
giants, so that could slow down and build you a board, and then you could try to go for lethal in a single turn.
Endo goes face, uses a fingers to clear.
This will prompt Ross to either Bell Giant or Cliff Racer.
It's a shame because Ross would really like to develop this Apex Predator for healing. Gets in. Does commit to the Belligerent Giant, you kind of have to.
And the problem is you are in bolt range.
Yeah. Yeah, Ross very much needs a move in shadows here to combo with this Apex Predator to try and drain off a little bit of this this damage, get him out of range of being dead in hand. Now Ross does have the second Belligerent. Sheer point. Off the top. Second Belligerent comes down, but it is not going to be enough. Endo does have two Cydonines in hand. That is an extra 6 damage. Gets in for 5. Alfiq off the top for Endo here. Cutting alive, but yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, we have double Cydonine. Very clean lethal here. And that is a 3-0 for Endozoa.
I was expecting Endo to win. I was not expecting a sweep.
Yeah, particularly not like at this level of play, because I mean both players are very well-known players, both very proficient. But yeah, a sweep like that is not something I was expecting to see in the final four.
So next match is Mag versus you. Do you remember the bands?
No, I do not.
Then we can try to guess.
I think. Yeah, I mean, looking at Mag's lineup compared to mine, like I'm fairly comfortable into most decks, I think. Like I have the Redoran, which is designed to like play relatively well into things like Empire. But looking at Mag's lineup, it's a slower lineup. So I'm like, I think I should be able to get under most of Mag's decks. The only deck I can see myself maybe looking at banning is Telvanni, just because Telvanni is a deck I just don't like playing against in general. And it's if Telvanni has the thing where it just sometimes draws every single answer in the deck. So the classic Telvanni draw. So I wouldn't be surprised to see myself just ban the Telvanni just to not deal with it.
Yeah, and if you ban the Telvanni, you have the upside of not having to play against Telvanni in this stage because the other players did not bring it.
Yeah, exactly. But for Mag, I could maybe see the Empire getting banned.
And it's a mid-range ban on both sides.
Okay, so I banned the slower control Gilsworn, and Mag bans mid-range Battle Mage. Very interesting.
And here we go with the first match. It's an Empire mirror.
Of course, naturally. Now I am a little bit more teched. I'm a little bit more teched for this because I am playing 3 copies of Execute. I do believe the other players are playing like 1 to 2 copies. Mag, for example, is running a single Execute in the deck, which Mag has drawn.
And he ditches the
I open Marksman.
The Muse. It's not the matchup for the Muse this time.
That gives me a Jiglegs Incursion here. You go for Wily Kiva. Looking at developing the defenses here. Decide to keep it.
The Kiva will just get executed.
Yeah.
It's arguably the best target outside of Darkmane.
Yeah. As I go for Young Mammoth here and get the defenses down just to stop some of the damage. The funny thing is, I could have absolutely seen myself just playing the Incursion. just to enable the Osa on the following turn as I top deck and Execute, which is a very good draw here. Go for Execute on the suspect. Gambler pitched the Incursion. This leaves me with the Osa on the following turn. Now, Mag does advance with the Hush that he generated off of the Merchant, which is fine, but doesn't really develop the board. So we see a Defenses and a Mammoth developed in kind. I do have a Nasi here that I could take. Just opt to make trades, go for the Osa. So you pull a full complement of Mud Crabs. I'm assuming I take the Gavel here. I think I'm the only player not playing Gavel in their main deck.
Oh, Cloud Rest.
So you see a Prophecy Cloud Rest off the Ankle Snapper Rune Break. Profiteer off the top for Mag. Yeah, that Cloud Rest is going to be a big board swing. That Mag takes several value trades. I do have an Anasi that I can use here. I can go on Nasi Contract Darkmane.
It's a bit unfortunate that
But
Mac
also-
does have the Mudcrab in field, so if you will Denasi here, then the Mudcrab would just trade.
Yeah. I just pass.
Mm.
Interesting. I'm guessing I hold the Anasi for next turn, so I can make a double trade. But hardly. Captain plus Necro.
You will. Oh, this Necro Mercenary Captain turn will be quite brutal.
So I do
Oh.
go for the Anasi.
Hmm.
Oh, it gets Drain and Charge, so
Drain.
that's...
Wow, I missed that.
Go for Contract, get the Darkmane to move. Get the Marked Man, go for the defenses. I can make the Darkmane move yet again if I want. Trade. Push the Darkmane back into field lane to regain cover.
This turn was something.
Fervor for Mag. This does let him farm a little bit with the Morg Tongue.
Also,
But I
Fervor
do have
was
double
the
captain.
thing he was looking for in this situation, because your hand is empty, your opponent's is half full, but you got the Gavel.
Go for Gavel. Yeah. Go for Gavel, go for Kiva, go for Captain. Play them all in Shadow Lane to move the Darkmane once again. Again, Darkmane's such an insane 2-drop. We go. Yeah, so we can take the Gavel trade. We can start taking value trades. And then everything else goes face. We are pretty much out of range of dying here. There should be no fast damage outside of Cliff Bracer.
Oh,
Full Firebrand off the Pawnbroker.
I very much needed random
Yeah,
generation.
but I do... Oh, but I can make the Darkmane move yet again here. Opt not to. But I can just go for Captain. As I likely realize my mistake here.
And
But
you
we do
have
go for
16,
Captain.
so you're one off.
Yeah, this is
Oh, no, it
board
was
control.
Yeah, you could have gone for lethal if I counted right. Because it wasn't 16, it was 18 with the buffs.
Yeah, likely could have gone for lethal, but looking at the health total and the board state, I think it's just safer to play for board here. Just deny Mag any outs. Shining Saint. Find a Moon Bishop off the top. Get him for 5.
And you will be able to skip the next rune. One air to you.
With the Automaton.
Nice and clean game, even after a rough start.
Yeah. Yeah, Mag's start was much faster than mine, but luckily I just happened to even through like the Cloudress prophecy as well, which is very funny. It just goes to show that Empire, like the Empire matches, are all about aggressively controlling the board, pretty much. So getting into game 2 here, it is going to be the mid-range Redrun versus the Alter Tilvani. opening hand for Mag is Amulet, Fighter Skill Recruit, and Viper. I wouldn't be surprised to see a full keep from Mag.
Yep.
Does in fact keep. I also
Oh.
keep a douche Nigel in the opener because I know it's going to be very, very good in this matchup.
And Mag Drone. Nice Storm.
Eclipse Baroness for Mag.
Do you play the FGR or you just pass?
I think you just pass. You wait for me to make a commitment here. Let's go for the Skin Hound. You can play the Amulet now. Just go for the Fighter Skill Recruit. Go for the Execute. Remove the FGR. Get him for 2. Play the Forerunner. Get him for an extra 1. Mag goes for Schemer. Gets nullified by the Forerunner.
Yeah, you still have to get rid of the board somehow because you are setting up for an Ice Storm.
So I go turn 4 Ring Blood Dragon. We see an altar off the top for Mag.
This is a tough turn.
Yeah, it was like you have options. None of them are just particularly good. Is the issue?
I could honestly
Like
see.
you could go Spymaster Blackhand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it was a legit option.
It heals you for 2 and also gives you a little bit of board presence.
Let's see the roll. Not bad.
Trade, see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised to just see me kind of ignore.
Oh, the
This
Fire
board,
Bloom
just
was
go-
huge.
Just go for Kiva, just go for Skin Hound.
If you go skip a Skin Hound, what do you buff? Do you buff the 2-3 in field, try to get it out of Ice Storm range?
Ice Storm. Yeah.
And then it must be Ice Storm.
This now forces the trade with the Alakir Survivalist here.
Oh, wait. I forgot about the +1/+1 it gets.
This is fine because I have Cradle Crush for this. Get to develop the 6/4.
And the problem is your hand is getting emptied out.
But as soon as Mag takes a turn off to develop this altar, it's going to be a big tempo loss when the douche Nigel immediately answers it.
Yeah, but does it need to do that?
No, but it's going to happen at some point, I think. Night Remember for Mag. We find Profiteer. I could just douche through the 1/1 to get in for 6. Okay. This does open us up to an Ice Storm. Which is what Mag has been waiting for.
And probably this
Man,
was the
off the top.
last good Ice Storm, because afterwards we are just going 1-for-1.
Yeah, as I go for the Shadowlane Flood here.
I could see Blackened Messenger and just Night Remember.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Fire Bloom is a full clear.
Yeah.
Is this worth conceding?
Don't think so. There's still plenty of draws in the deck that pull me back in.
Not the Javelin though.
Yeah, it depends on how the next couple of turns go. And I draw an Edict as well.
It's just the turn Mag needed to develop the altar.
Yeah. Do you have the Edict to remove it? We find the 3rd Skin Hound off the top. Likely going to concede after these Necroms, I would imagine. Just because this is going to be a board set I don't think I can come back from.
There is murder in the air.
Not just in
Just
the air,
three
but on the board too.
unfortunate. Yeah, just three very unfortunate draws, and then a Crusaders Assault to tie it all up. Yeah. Yeah, just four back-to-back like dead draws is very unfortunate in that situation. But it is what it is. That is the Telvanni draw that I that I am always concerned about, where they just have the answers. As we get into game 3 here,
At least it won't be a
Token
sweep
Satyr.
draw.
Yeah, true. But Token Satyr versus the Rachel Alu.
A much better starting
Mag.
point for you.
Yeah. No ring, which means this pit line is not coming down until turn 3, but that's fine because they're just going to develop the Profiteer here, or rather the Kiva, which I top decked. Initiate for Mag rings it out.
Speak, citizen.
I can see myself just going defenses, double trade.
Play the pit lion. Yeah.
Yeah. Just deny the healing. I mean, I'm left with a 2-1 after this, so am I okay with this? We're going to see a ring Hide Fender likely developed. Do indeed, but this is a very good Cloud Rest for me.
A little distraction might prove useful.
Once again, lets me maintain my board, but we can just get ring phalanxed. The endless conga line of guards has begun. Go for priest. Cycle a card here.
Oh.
Resolute ally.
Behold
I could have seen you try for the lie.
Yeah. Very tempting. But I think we just go Marked Man plus Profiteer. Play the defenses in field lane to protect the pit line. Just because I am aware of the Leaf Lurkers in Mag's deck. So I want to try and deny the easy clears. Goes for second Phalanx. Likely just going to see 5th Legion come down plus the Resolute Ally. Buff field lane. I can take 2 very clean trades and get in for 6. Missequence it a little bit.
training is over.
Mac had a guard every turn up from turn
Yep.
3. And we could also take the initiate as a guard because you must clear it.
Yeah, you have to remove it. There's another ally hits. Take a trade, likely with the 4-3, just to disable any Scourge shenanigans. Continue to push face damage.
You still
Could
have a
develop
good
Gourmet
board
just to
presence.
develop a body. Yeah. Despite the fact that Mag has had an overstated guard every single turn of the game.
You had the Cloud Rest, you had the buffs, and they helped you maintain your board.
Yeah. The one thing that I have not drawn is card draw.
If you can end
I do
this
just
next
commit
turn
the Gourmet just as a body.
or the turn afterwards, you won't need the card draw. But if it goes longer, then
Belligerent
you'll be
Giant.
in a tough spot.
So Mag can go for High Defender, could also go for a Belligerent Giant line here. I think you kind of have to just go for High Defender and hope that you hit a Prophecy here. Find a Rift Thane. Get in. Gonna break the rune, see what happens.
No prophecies.
No Prophecy, so this is a clean lethal. Tokens Crusader just showing why it was one of my favorite decks. So resilient.
You misplayed this last turn because the 4-4 could have cleared the 3-4 while surviving, and then your board
Yes.
would have looked more menacing when you hit for lethal.
Up against the Aggro Empire. So this is a matchup that the deck should be okay into, but given what I remember from this top four, yeah, my draws were not not great. So we open up Profiteer, Illusionist, Skintown, and Bleak Coast.
You can trust me.
Mag opens the turn 1 Trader.
My arcane spear.
I do have a response with the Windkeep. This is a technically 1-for-1 trade, but I do take damage. I do take at least 4 out of this.
Ready for anything.
We see a Trapper developed. Red and Forerunner does let me clear this though,
I know.
while also not getting shackled down.
Oh,
Penance Oculatus is a ridiculous top deck in this situation. Deals the charge and the drain. How many? Yeah, how many Penance does this deck run? He is running 2.
There's a plan. There's a plan.
Burn Profiteer plus Skinhound, targeting itself. Gambler, 4 mag. I could just see the defenses come down here.
you could also just trade Dawnbreaker trade. Goes for Gambler.
Gonna go for Gambler.
And you
Pitch
did
the Dawnbreaker?
defense. No, you...
Pitch it. Okay, does pitch defense. Yeah. I find a Javelin off the top. So I could just Javelin the 4-3 here.
That is a
Then I
serious
card
play.
draw. Well, Mag now has the green light to just slam a Dawnbreaker on something. As we hit another prophecy, it is a Protector of the Innocent.
Someone who fights back.
Mag could Shadow Shift, does Shadow Shift, keeps the Traitor safe, finds a Fervor, can go Ring Fervor here if he wants, or can go Dawnbreaker. So it survives trade, does in fact. We find more cool Gatekeeper off top.
Speak.
We go for Initiate plus Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper to block
Oh.
up the field lane.
Yeah. Well, the Fervor is punishing.
This is fine. I don't think I mind that much. Rapid Shot is a clear.
A little distraction might be.
Cloud Rest lets me keep my my Initiate, and I can just Rapid Shot to ping off the 8-1 here.
And the good thing you have the Initiate to drain off here.
Yeah. Blood Dragon off the top. Also very, very good at controlling the board. Second Fervor.
Spirit of the sky, guide us.
Get in for 5. Back up to 27. Play a Bleak Coast Troll. Start pushing some damage. Play the Kiva. East March.
You have
4 mag
24
off the top.
damage. So next turn you can go for the lethal 26 from hand.
Yeah, the only prophecy in Mag's deck that could potentially stop that is the 3 Cloud Rests. Pawnbroker finds Dread's Spy. So can check for prophecy on top. Finds a Haunting Spirit that is going to be discarded. So I do have a little bit of extra damage with the double assault in hand.
You still can't skip the last 2 runes, but at least you can skip the last one.
5 down to 12.
You go for 4, then 2,
Yeah, for
then
4.
6.
Yeah,
Or like that, yeah. Works.
yeah. The Red Run does in fact end up taking it versus the Empire. And it's 3-1.
So as you said, Mag's decks were a bit slower against yours, and you also mentioned Rospidos decklist that are better faced against MegaCat's lineup, so this time you won 3-1, which means that the first round has been finished. So we will take a look at the current bracket. We've seen Endo go 3-0 and we've seen Core go 3-1, which also means that the standings after the first round are as follows. Endo is in first place with 3-0 for now, 100% win rate, but of course that will change, or we are likely to see that changed. Core is second with 3-1, 75%, Meg is third with 1-3, 25, and then Rospedal is for now at the last place with 0-3, and we'll continue with the second round in just 5 minutes. And welcome back to the second round of the 5th stage. We will watch Ende versus Core and Hospital versus Megacat in this round, starting with Ende Core. So we have Assassin, Redren, Dominion, and Empire on Ende's side, while Core is playing Battle Mage, Crusader, Redren, and Empire. Do you remember the bans, or should we try to guess?
I, for some reason I think I banned Endo's Assassin because it's Endo's like comfort deck. I wouldn't be surprised if I banned the Assassin, but I could have also just like banned either like Dominion or Redoran in this. Or I mean, there's a good chance I banned pretty much anything in this lineup. To be fair, they're all aggressive decks. There's merit to banning the Empire because no one wants to play Empire mirrors. But I feel like I banned the Assassin because I'm aware of Endo's like proficiency and comfort on the deck.
What this show is red, it is Redren and Empire banned.
Interesting. I wonder. Hold on, I have to double check Endo's Redoran because there must have been some reason that I banned this. If there is, it's lost to me now. It's been too long.
Yeah, I've been also surprised when creating these animations that Redren was the one banned, but it is.
There must have been a reason that I banned it. I'm not sure was it because I wasn't. It's not a deck I'm used to playing against, so I just banned it so I wouldn't have to.
Yeah, that could be it. You usually don't see Redren in a tournament, and this is Redren, like a token mid-grow Redren, so
Yeah.
it might be just out of the blue.
So get into game one. It's going to be Redren versus Dominion. Opening hand for me is Assault, Cloudrust, and Gatekeeper. Likely going to see the Gatekeeper and the Assault pitched back. And opening hand for Endo is Channel Storm, Saint, and Gambler. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Saint and the Gambler kept and just the Storm pitched.
I could see the Saint being switched and keep the Storm and Gambler. But we'll just keep the
Keeps the
Gambler.
Gambler. Yeah. Yeah, I pitched the Illusionist and the Assault, got back a Kiva and a Rapid Shot, also finding a Broom Profiteer, and a Wind Keep Spellsword off the top. So we open up with the Profiteer here. Endo finds a 1-drop, turn 2 late, unfortunately. Can't just ring out the Gambler, pitching the Quartermaster or the Bolt.
Ooh,
Pitches the Bolt.
I have no patience for fools.
Get in for 3. Go for a Wind Keep. Yeah, I much prefer. I mean, this all like it's fine. I would prefer to see Wind Keep in Shadow to set up a Rapid Shot clear on it next turn. I just go for Feline just to insulate the Profiteer. Flameslinger off the top plus Seedonine Courier.
We will see the Smuggler played, I think. Just trade with Bruma. Alternatively, you could Quartermaster and Flameslinger. But playing the Flameslinger there just doesn't feel good because the Broom can favorably trade after the Wind Keeps pops the ward. So
yeah, well, this is the reason for the Wind Keep in field lane. It just makes playing into the Profiteer very awkward.
All right, so it uses the ring and it makes the Broom not trade favorably.
Yeah, so I can just go Kiva and Rapid Shot here. So we Rapid Shot can break the ward, and then we can just clean up the lane. Find a Gatekeeper off the top. Take the 2 trades. Darkmane for Enzo. I could see just Darkmane plus Seedonine, then next turn you play Doom Smuggler.
I am the Queen Mother.
The reason I like Dominion versus other aggro decks is the drain potential it has, as we see with the Baron's Eye. You will not be racing this.
Yeah, well, it's Redren mid range is the thing. So I am packing much more I'm packing heavier things than Endo. Like the primary reason I brought the Redren was because it has such a high prophecy count, and it has quite a few decent mid game tools that help versus the slightly more aggressive stuff. Like as you see there with the Edict just being able to cleanly deal with the Baron's Eye while also having the field lane controlled still.
It's a good thing that you had it. There is a Darkmane coming in a few turns, maybe even now. That will be a swing on drain, but okay, next turn.
Yeah. So I have Forerunner plus Gatekeeper here. Can clear up the 7-3.
I know a shortcut. I'll clear a
Train it back up.
Oh,
Ooh, double smuggler is very good here for Endo. It does mean potentially losing one in field lane, but do you even care? Because you can play smuggler, move Darkmane. I mean, you could just smuggle out the two creatures in Shadow. If you move the Traitor out as a 5/5 and then move the Darkmane gets way bigger.
this is a tricky turn. So he went with the Fervor in the end. You can still do the smugglers next turn.
Yeah. Find a golden initiate off the top. Go for Gatekeeper. Choose not to break the rune here. Eastmarch Crusader off the top for Endozoa. Let's see, Eastmarch and then Smuggler. Or Hive Defender and then Eastmarch or Smuggler, yeah. If you target the Darkmane will move itself back. Yep.
And then you can trade.
Yeah, this does clear the Gatekeeper. I take 5, find a Sower, find another Sower off the top. So I can just develop Sower plus Initiate here.
Mother, dog, do you not fear me, mortal? You should.
Seems like you'll do exactly that.
citizen.
Channel Storm.
Storm. Oh, that's a good catch.
Yeah, Channel Storm lets you clear up the Initiate here. The question is, if you're Endo, are you committing another Smuggler to this board? Takes the trade. Gets hit by the Sower down to 21. You have to Channel Storm this Initiate though. Yeah. Crusader's Assault off the top.
You have a second Solar, but it can be traded 1-for-1 again with the 5-3
Yeah.
in the lane.
Endo also has fingers in hand that can also clear it.
Do you not fear?
Yeah, there's so many turns that I've been like one mana off a better line, but just did not have the ring this game.
You decide not to go face just to not give Endo any cards, but he does not need it.
Second fingers off the top, and we do not hit a prophecy here. Unfortunate, and Endo takes game 1.
He was even able to skip the rune because he had double smuggler, so the move gave him +2/+2 on the defender.
Yeah. As we queue up into the Empire, running back to Redden once again. On Rifting, Troll, and Cradle Crush.
And then Endo's side, it was a fast keep of the the Trespasser. Oh, I always say Trespasser. It's Trapper, the Darkmane, and Shadow Shift.
A Dune Smuggler off the top. Likely just going to see Darkmane dropped in Shadow Lane here. Yeah.
Go for the Smuggler next.
We do have Ring Mammoth here.
trainer.
So now the question for Endo is, do you want to commit the Smuggler this turn, or do you want to just use the Shadow Shift now and save the Smuggler for a later turn?
Yeah, if you smuggler, the Darkmane dies even still, because you can
Yeah.
buff it out of 4 health.
Trades over the Mammoth, which is a-okay. Likely just going to play the Bleak Ghost Troll, contest the Smuggler here. Endo can Shadow Shift it, but it still trades down with the Riftane. Does have Shining Saint. The Saint only
Oh.
gives -2, so
Also see an Apprentice Necro, which
Gets
will
trapped
protect the
back.
smuggler.
I do have a Cloud Rest trade here. Empire Oathman off the top.
Does it help you? Not really.
No, everything still trades down.
Can you raise
You could
this?
just go. You probably can. But I have some action in hand here, so it's not the worst situation for me to be in. And we have a Cradle Crush on the horizon.
Shining Saint enables at least one good trade.
Yeah, takes trade over. Find the Rage off the top. Likely just gonna see Profiteer plus Morkel Gatekeeper here.
Now the problem for next turn for Ende is that there is no green on the board for the Oathman for now.
Mm.
So he has to find it first.
Break the Rune first here.
Gavel.
Finds Gavel. We just go all in on Shadow Lane here because I fully intend on playing Cradle Crush into field. Do not want to be catching any of my own units in that. If I do win, keep Spellsword off the top. Endo trades.
And there is the Cradle.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see myself trade off the Profiteer here, honestly.
And you will.
Yeah. The Bleak Coast is just a little bit harder to remove. And it does have the answer with the second Cliff Racer, but that's most of the burst damage from the Empire gone at that point.
Seems
Cliff
like
Racer
we will
comes out
see the
in.
Cliff Racer, but it will be on field.
Yeah, plus Gavel. See a Seducer off the top. So we're just going to go for Profiteer plus Seducer. Looks like I am... We go Profiteer Spellsword. Interesting. Setting up for a potential assault. Young Mammoth. Plus Oathman, I'm imagining, is the line here for Endo.
Yeah, you don't want to ditch the Oathman with Gambler. Especially since
Yeah,
you will be
plus-
able to play the Gambler without the downside in next turn.
Have have not managed to hit a single prophecy on this 15 prophecy red rune list.
So what you can do now is Crusader's Assault to remove the 5/4 and then jab the 8, yeah, the 8/5.
Yeah, it's exactly the line we go for here. Find a Forerunner. Yeah, very much in the situation of needing a prophecy to stabilize.
Purple.
We find a Fervor. So Endo is just going to go Fervor plus Gambler. Yeah, a single prophecy in this situation
Oh,
should... Oh. I mean, that does let me clear with the Forerunner in hand.
you will use Rage and Shadow, I think. Well, it depends on if you want to rage with Seducer, but Do you deny the draw or do you gain health next turn?
Like, I could mark 3 on the Mammoth, go for Assault on the Forerunner. I do just Rage to deny the card draw. But this does put me dead to a lot of things. A Mammoth off the top for Endo. Plays a Mammoth into Shadow. We find Riftain. Riftain is in defense mode here.
Yeah, so you will survive at 1 plus 3, that's 4.
Yeah. So get in, draw 2. Douchnik Yol and Sower. Douchnik to pop the Fervor. Shadow Shift. Oh, we're still at 1.
Good thing you popped this fervor, because if you just played the Riftain, you would have died here.
Aranthia Swindler or Kagudi. Sure, you take Kagudi here. It's better stats. I'm not playing any items outside of exactly Dawnbreaker. Does take the Kagudi. Trades over the healing. Find a Wily Keeve off the top. Pretty sure I am like exactly dead to the Kagudi in this situation. I remember being like the Kagudi being exactly lethal.
Yeah, there is a silver, so that is 5 health on a guard. If Endo bumps the Mad Crab and the Kaguti, that is 4 damage, and then the Mammoth would break through for 3.
Yeah, the breakthrough on the Kagudi actually cost me that game. Because I had 2 guards in hand with the Riftain and the sword, just I couldn't block the breakthrough on both. So we swap over to Crusader versus the Aggro Assassin. Opening up with a Grizzly Gourmet here, which is very good for the matchup, actually. So I'm likely just going to keep the Gourmet. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Priest of the 8 and the Captain be pitched back. And as well, looking at Hand of Warcraft, Reclaimer, and Prankster Mage. Wouldn't be surprised to see Prankster Mage go back here. I think you keep the Warcraft and you keep Reclaimer. I do pitch my other 2 cards to get back a Markman and a Scouting Patrol. Endo does in fact pitch the Prankster Mage, gets back a Ghostgate Defender.
Oh, Defender versus the 1 health tokens should feel pretty good.
Let's go for Markman and Shadow here. We're hoping to find a pit line off the top this turn. Flameslinger for Endo. Find ourselves a Riftain, which is going to be a 2/4. Could go Ring Scouting Patrol here. Do in fact go for it. Lines up better for a Resolute Ally on the following turn. Endo does have the Seedanine to get over the Riftain here. Let's take the trade. Double trades in field. Find a captain off the top. We can go for defenses plus captain. It's likely not good enough is the issue. Instead, going to Gourmet the 1/2. Put the defenses down just to soak up some damage. Get in for 2. Swift Strike for Endo. Does let him clear up field.
You'll most likely just do Reclaimer, activate the dagger, and then trade.
Oh, the Sweet Roll keeps the Seedanine. Priest of the 8 does draw me a card here. Finds 5th Legion. I have to play 5th Legion here. Deal 1 damage, play the 5th Legion, pass. Play in field. Temple Conjure for Endo.
And you can just favorably trade with everything, develop the conjure.
Yeah. Find Fervor off the top. I can go for House Carl here. Yeah, Endo's draw this game has just been spot on for turn answers, as he finds the Conjurer as well for turn 6. It's not active, but I don't think you particularly care.
You can just Warcrafter, Stressford on the 3-1. Tempo Conjurer trades with the 1-1. You still keep your full field lane. Then it's an off week.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bunch of stats. It's also a 3/3 guard.
And interestingly enough, he plays it in Shadow, trying to protect the 5-2, which signals to me that we might be looking for lethal next turn.
Yeah, these draws, Triple House Carl, Divine Fervor, no boards, just...
And Bolt. The Bolt plus this sword is plus 7 damage. We have 10 in Shadow, 4 in Field, so this is lethal.
Yeah.
Okay, with this strike we can even skip the rune.
Yeah. There's another 3-0 for Endo.
A convincing showing from this full aggro lineup. And for the second match in round 2, we have Rospidol versus Mangacat. Rospidol is on mid-range Battle Mage, the mid-range Archer, then there is the Goldsworn and the Aggro Empire. Mangacat is playing an all-out tricolor lineup with Goldsworn, Lalu, Telvanni, and Empire. What do you think will be the bans here?
I think Mag is likely just going to ban the Empire. I think the Empire gets under all of Mag's lower control lists. It's Control Goldsworn, Rage, Halalu, Ultra Telvanni, and like Empire Aggro. So it's a case of the Empire is going to be quicker than all the slower decks, plus the Empire Mirror is potentially going to be very grindy. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Mag just ban out the Empire. If you're Ross, it's difficult because your slower, like your mid-range decks, your Battle Mage, your Archer, and your Guildsworn, they're good into the Telvanni. They're decent into the Lalu. I think the most threatening matchup in Mag's lineup is likely going to be the Guildsworn. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Guildsworn from Mag be banned.
Empire
wow.
and Battle Mage.
Very interesting. Okay. So Mag banning, again, as I mentioned in the previous set, Ross, very well-known Battle Mage pilot, so seeing people ban the Battle Mage out of respect is very funny. And then Ross banning the Empire, because who wants to play Empire Mirrors?
Also, Empire is the outlier in Mag's lineup, so at least with this one you know what you're up against.
Let's get into game 1 here. Is going to be Aggro Empire up against the Rage Lalu. Opening hand for Ross is Penitus Lattice, Empire Recruiter, and Apprentice Necromancer. Probably just going to see the Penitus pitched back. Opening hand for Mag, we're likely going to see the Cradle Crush and the Javelin pitched back. Likely going to hold on to the Protector. Ross pitches the Necro and the Penitus, gets back a Haunting Spirit and Surround Pawnbroker. And Mag pitches exactly what I said, gets back a Rapid Shot and a second Javelin. Top deck's Shadow Shift. So Ross is just going to go turn to Empire Recruiter here. This gets blocked up by the Protector, but you have the Shadow Shift to get around it. You can Shadow Shift plus plus Pawnbroker. Plays it in... Okay. Yeah, it makes a bit more sense. Yeah, I'd like just going to see Ross go for Shadow Shift.
More fun.
Yeah.
And the Trapper.
Yeah, no, you just develop the Pawnbroker. Well, the plot's active here. Say Dwarven Spider. Spider actually not terrible, just a 0-cost 0/3 that can soak up buffs from your captains and the like.
Just give me a name.
As long as I draw breath.
Standing by.
Of this turn, you can play a Trapper and the Hunting Spirit.
I'm ready.
In Shadow,
And
you
you do
will
effect.
give Mag a completed contract that at least next turn you can trade with the Hunting Spirit, get the buffs
It's not
over to whatever you like. You could theoretically play the Even Dawn Spider before rolling the buff.
Never give ground.
Hmm.
As long as I draw breath.
Ooh, Oathman's a very good draw here.
Yeah. So you just Trapper, Spider, Oathen.
I think you hit with the spirit first, see where the 3/3 lands, because if it lands on the recruiter, you're just trading with the pawnbroker here, and then you're doing everything else, because your recruiter will always activate your Oathman. So I think regardless of what happens, you're always taking the trade with the spirit first and just seeing what happens. Just with the way the buffs will line up here, it I think works out better overall.
And the Spirit's buff is a +3/+3, so the second creature trading with the Phalanx Exemplar will be able to survive.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's if the buff lands on the recruiter, for example, you just play the Oathman and then you trade with the 3/4 pawnbroker.
I'm ready for
I mean, this is also guaranteed. Just it means you're less likely to hit face for 5 this turn. But maybe Ross is skilled and lands it on the recruiter anyway. Is in fact not lucky. As Mike top decks a Murkwater Skirmisher this turn. Unfortunately, this is... It's like, yeah, it's a fine Supreme Dragon. It removes 4 damage from the board technically with the Oathman, but you're not happy about it. As Ross just takes the trade, continues to pressure Mag.
Oh,
Mag does have a Prophecy, and there's a Cloud Rest.
Rest.
Yeah, goes for Apprentice Necro, gets back another Trapper in Shadow. Profiteer off the top for Mag.
I wonder if this was better or it would have been just more efficient to play the Black Dragon in Food Lane instead of the Necro.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming was going to happen. I figured Black Dragon would make a bit more sense. But I'm guessing he's just trying to insulate his Shadow Lane here a little bit.
your fears betrayed.
Mag can get through with Rapid Shopless Javelin here, if they really wanted to. Scourge lets them clear up the 2/1 here, and they can take the trade over the 1/3. Shackles down the Dragon for a turn, but I don't think you particularly care.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
Alright,
okay, it's just
Leo's
gonna...
both.
Yes.
Nasi.
Anasi doesn't do anything on this board state.
I think with the Nasi drone, you don't really feel bad for playing Black Dragon and Anitosakuletis agent, even though the agent does not have a keyword target.
Javelin hits the Ultimate here. Yeah, no, I think you just play them for bodies. Just dump them in Shadow Lane. If Mag develops guards, you just Anasi, lets you get through.
You go face for 1.
Yeah, Black Dragon. Oculatus. Dragon does get affected by the Supreme Dragon, but it's fine. Like, Mag could just go Curse plus Cradle Crush in field. Does go for the Javelin on the Black Dragon here. Takes the trade over. Cloud Rest.
Oh, you can't Anasi and Cloudrest the same turn.
Always clever.
You just switch lanes because there is no way you're
Yeah.
going to let the Supreme Dragon deduce the fourth creature there. Yeah.
Sheer point comes out. Curse.
This is just not looking good. You have 3 damage, you need 6.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ross. Where's Ross's list? I just need to. I think Ross is. Ross is not running Dawnbreaker, but he's running 2 Gavel, so he does have a little bit of reach. We are just going to see full committal for the gambler here. So Ross could, in theory, hit exactly Cliff Racer plus Gavel off the top.
He just needs a guard. I mean, Mag needs a guard, and he has found it. Oh, he has one too. Oh, yeah. Let's see the draws. Traitor, Darkmane, and the Mud Crab.
You merchant, because if you hit Aspect of Piercing, that's just lethal. Or Tazcad.
Mud crab merchant.
Ooh, we have no veteran.
Yeah, it's still a 5-3, so you'll choose that.
Of course, I'm on your side.
Yeah, you just dump everything into Shadowline here. It's a bit unfortunate because they're getting minus. They're getting an extra minus on the attack from the sheer point.
No time for pleasantries.
So instead of being 3 attack, they're all 2 attack now. Which does kind of matter here. But again, Ross does have outs. There are draws in Ross's deck that do pull him out of this. And at some point, Mag is going to have to start pressuring.
Mammoth is not what you were looking for.
You can clear the Hive Defender. You can get in for 3. Play the Mammoth, pass. Like you're kind of, at least Mag is now in range of Cliff Racer, so that's at least something. Venom Dren off the top, plus a Belligerent Giant. You can draw with Assault here, but it's going to give Ross cards is the issue. Belligerent Giant on the Mammoth. Moral Trader off the top. Can Mag 1 turn Ross here? 14, 20, 24? Not quite. Finds Phalanx, finds Douchnik. Actually, with Crusader's Assault, this is lethal, right? 24, 25. Yeah, with Assault, this is lethal for Mag.
Assuming you don't hit Cloudrest.
Yeah, it has to be exactly Cloudrest. They're the only prophecies that Ross is playing.
Is it more safe to just play the Phalanx in Shadow? It won't even be traded. Probably.
Mag is thinking about it. Mag is thinking about committing to this lethal. You can see him. You can see him counting. Gets in for
And
7.
there we go.
Gets in for 6. Gets in for 4. Again, if this doesn't
And
hit
that's
prophecy, then yep.
assault lethal.
Oh, what a grindy first game. As the Rage Lalu picks up a game versus the Aggro Empire, very close game. Mag just ended up spinning his wheels towards the end. Didn't find any of the reach that that Empire has access to in the form of Cliff Racers and the Raz. As we get into game 2 here versus it's going to be the Empire run back versus the Control Guildsworn. Opening hand for Ross is Oculatus, Morgtong, and Mudcrab. Likely just going to see the Penitus be put back. Opening hand for Mag is Piercing Twilight, Crushing Blow, and a Fear Totem. Wouldn't be surprised to see the full hand mulligan for Mag here. Keeps the Crushing Blow. Gets just immediately gets back to Twilight anyway.
What's
Does have a
interesting is
turn
that
to-
Ross has ditched the Moractung and drew it back.
And immediately draws it. Gromite Magus for Mag does have the turn 2 protector to stop this turn 1 trader.
Just going
It's
to
great. It's,
oh,
Read my lips.
I think you take Skywatch, yeah. That's Morgtong. It's interesting. It's so funny looking back at like Mournhold Trader and like realizing this card has been unchanged through the entirety of Tesla, and it remained one of the best 2-drops in the game. Arguably the best 1-drop in the game.
Ross trades you the Mudcrab just to be able to get it back with Apprentice Necro. You get Bolvin,
Takes
yeah.
the Venom. Yeah. Red Year off the top for Mag. Can just bolt the Necro.
Mac Hubbard the Piercing Twilight, but there is nothing in the discard pile. Oh wait, there is the traitor.
Mm.
You could. Do you really want
Yeah.
to highlight the traitor? Probably not.
Yeah, just goes for the safe line here, removes the 3/3. It's guaranteed to take damage off board. But Ross does find a Fervor off the top here.
Interesting. I think Baldwin plus Markman plus the defenses would have set up for a better Fervor next turn.
But Ross wants to go for Ring Skywatch next turn, I believe.
I sell cures for all ills.
Ooh, Ring
Oh.
Skywatch on the Morgtong here is insane. Yeah, there it is.
After all, it was Ross who gave Mag the 5/3 guard.
Yeah, Prince an extra Morgtong. God, Skywatch Vindicator was like so close to being a playable card. If it cost 5, I think it might have seen play. So we see Revitalizer come down. Oh, Empire Oathman off the top. Oh, I think you just play Dark Mane and Shadow, play Empire Oathman,
In
take your
Shadow.
damage. Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, because next turn you just go with Marked Man.
And with the Darkmane and the Markmans, even like the Markman will proc and then Darkmane will move once, and then you can play the
Yeah.
defenses in field, and Darkmane will move again.
Interesting. Doesn't go for the Oathman here. It's like just going to set up then for the Oathman next turn. We're going to see Darkmane plus.
I would say Darkmane plus Oathman. Because that will mean that your Skywatch can survive the 1/5. Oh,
No, it's
right.
setting up for the Oathman next turn with Oh, very interesting.
But it does protect the 5/1.
Yeah. Is there anything that Mag can do in this situation? Double Gromite Magus in the hand doesn't do anything in this matchup. Fell the Mighty can remove
Bolvin.
something. Yeah, Fell removes Bolvin.
Speak.
Initiate. This is Not great.
Yeah. Who could
Yeah,
say this again?
this is this certified Empire board if I've ever seen one. As Ross takes it versus the Control Guildsworn. Empire getting to do the Empire thing. It's incredible how Darkmane changed like the tournament metagame so much with like bringing Empire to the forefront. Like just a single 2-drop like made that much of a difference to the deck. It's crazy to think about.
It's both Empire and in the Fireball tournament we have seen Aggro Dominion execute as well, just because you can ward up the Darkmane and heal infinitely. Such a good card.
Yeah, just goes to show the impact of a single card can have on an entire archetype. Let's get into game 3 here. Mag is running back the Control Guildsworn, and Ross is on the mid-range archer, the mid-range move archer. Opening hands on both sides aren't great. Mag does have some action here with the turn 2 Apprentice plus turn 3 Grave Viper Brigand, but other than that, Ross finds the turn 3 Trader here.
Alright, the animation on the traitor didn't even reach the hand, it was already played.
Does have Ashdown the Punisher at least here. I think you play it Shadow because next turn you can move in Shadows it and you can trade over to 1/2.
The Ashkan.
Because at this rate, Mag will just take the trade, I would assume, or like bump it.
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
Your coin or your life. Choose.
Yep, does in fact mark the damage. This becomes a much better Dune Ripper. You could also just Dune Rip.
I would say Dune Rip and then trade.
Because you could, if you Dune Rip Field, then move in Shadows, you can you can almost clear the entire board. If no rings, you can't do anything with Cloak to keep the Punisher alive.
You could Scourge and Cloak, and it would mean that the Punisher can survive even the Brigand.
Ross is considering the Dune Ripper here. Like, you can Cloak and then you can move in Shadow as well if you want to keep Punisher alive, because it moves to Shadow and then moves back to Field and it will retain the cover. Ross does commit the Scourge. Does go for Cloak. Does go for Move in Shadow.
Oh. Alright.
Ooh. I think a little bit of a misplay there. You should have taken the trade with the Protector first and then moved it. Yeah, you don't clear the thing, but you don't care. I don't know. I mean, you still lose out to Ice Storm in that situation, but...
At least then an Ice Storm would have been played.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that line. We do see the Dune Ripper come down. Dune Ripper, another phenomenal card that got printed at the end of development, rather, after the servers went into maintenance. And again, made a big difference to the Move Archer deck.
For the Zero Belligerent for the body.
Yeah,
It's still
just
got
playing it raw. Grommet Magus is going to pop one of the Swift Strikes. You have Dune Smuggler plus Dagger plus Swift Strike here.
There are ill winds this day.
That's 20 damage. does go for it.
Prophecy.
Yeah, Javelin. That's fine. The main thing for Ross here is trying to set up for an empty-handed Gambler, just so you can draw 2. But that will end up getting swept up by a Ice Storm. Scourge. Yeah, you go Scourge, you play the curse on the 5/5. There's no downside to doing it here, and then you play, yeah, your Gambler. Yeah, much would have preferred to have seen him play the curse on the 5/5. But do you see the Ice Storm? Doesn't play the Profiteer. Find Doomstalker.
You need 7 damage yet.
I mean, it's possible.
Well, there is a Manticore coming down. It's turn. Or just... Alright, so goes for the Brima, starts to heal. The Dushnik can deal with the 3-1.
Yeah. Okay, I think from this point it's pretty... I don't think there's any single draw Grummites to kill the curse.
Best very Gromite I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, from this point I think Mag has pretty well stabilized. Apex Wolf is going to seal the deal, I think. Cliff Racer off the top.
So you can
Is
Cliff
not
Racer,
going to do it.
Doomsmuggler, trade with the Dushnik, you still are dead to lifesteal.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no racing this. Yeah. And
Personalizes
Raspberry
that
Doll.
answer concedes. It's a 2-1
Yeah.
for Mag. I have bad news for us. There's only one deck left on Megacat's side, and it's the Telvanni.
Oh,
How do you feel about that?
I love Telvanni. That's the one silver lining to Tesla, the Tesla servers being offline. I don't have to play against any Telvanni anymore. But yeah, as far as like this goes in the matchup, I think Ross is favored to Telvanni, but at the same time, Telvanni does just do the Telvanni draw sometimes and will have every single answer.
Yeah,
So it really depends
even
on
when
how.
you're favored to Telvanni in general because you're running a rage. Oh, and it's not a good starting hand. Telvanni can just still do Telvanni things and have the perfect curve, even as a control
Yeah.
deck.
Yeah. Thieves Guild Recruit for Mag off the top goes for a Tree Miner. Get a little bit of acceleration. Ross can just go Skaven. A very clean answer. Brahmin off the top. Probably is going to see a Thieves Guild Recruit. Finds a Dark Rebirth. Ships the turn. Second Skaven for Ross. Likely just going to see Trade plus Seducer here. I don't think there's any reason to do anything else with your turn.
When you play the Seducer, it will, if you go field, it will just get Vipered.
Yeah, gets Vipered, then this just feels bad. Yep, Viper comes down, takes the trade. Phalanx off the top. A very good draw. Nice to remember for Mag. But no
do much.
targets in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third Skaven for Ross.
You
I think he
Cradle
just
in
played
Shadow.
the Cradle in Shadow, yeah, just for stats. It's big enough to not get hit by Ice Storm. Requires an extra card to answer efficiently. Yeah, I mean, you know Mag's not playing Conscription, so the Cradle Crush isn't going to have much value later. This is a pure alter version of the deck. So I think it's worth just playing out the Cradle here. Elusive Schemer off the top. Brings out the Encano.
Odd.
Bolt and Skaven is an answer.
Do you want to use the bolt on Encano?
Not particularly, but I think you have to. Given the list he's running, you know there's like a Nitro members, you know there's Dark Rebirths, so you don't want him. You don't want Mag like printing Deal 5 on everything you play.
Yeah, also it's just good as a general rule to remove any creatures versus an altar Telvanni.
Yeah, exactly. Ross is slowly pulling Mag into range of the aspect of Hearsay in hand. Mag does finally find an altar. Burn Profiteer off the top for Ross.
We'll just see the Skaven in Shadow and then Cloudrest Field. Protect your 5/6 from the lethal.
Yep, exactly. And this sets up for a potential lethal next turn if Mag does not have an immediate answer, which I don't think there is. Rising of Bones makes a single creature. It does have a Sly Marshblade to activate it. So it does make 2/3/3 guards and draws him a card. Blocks up Field Lane.
Another.
Oathman.
It will give you a target for a rage for a later turn. But you don't get the Fort Bullet. You still play it, I think.
If you use the Impro weapon now, you deal 3 breakthrough with the Phalanx. Does that matter? I mean, it might matter if your opponent continues to invest in field lane presence. Okay, so we're not playing...
Oh,
Okay.
alright.
Yes.
I completely
on
missed
the,
this line.
Yeah, Rage on the Cloudrest keeps the Phalanx alive. Blackhand Messenger will clear the Phalanx. So he can Blackhand, he can Dark Rebirth. This gains him an extra 6. Goes for Knight.
And
I
then
was gonna go Knight and then Rebirth.
Oh.
Yeah, this is so much health. Ah, I love Telvanni.
And now it's
Back up
out
to
of
11.
aspect range.
Yeah. Aspect is 6. I mean, you could just use fingers to pop the messenger and draw a card here. It does break a rune. Don't play aspect
Goes for
as
the
a
12 guard, I would assume. Oh no.
no, just gets in for 6. This does put him in range of Ancano.
We know that
Odin.
the Black Pens are coming back.
Yeah, Odinir Necromancer grabs another.
Oh,
Grabs a
Viper,
Viper. Yeah. You have you have tinkerings. You can tinker the oh, this also works, I guess. Yeah. Reverts the messenger.
Target self. Range
Yeah,
4.
heal 4.
Alright. It's only for 2. And there is that Alright.
If I were Ross, I'd be pissed. You've done everything right so far, but the Telvanni is doing the Telvanni thing of just having everything. I mean, this does at least mean that if there's no answer to the Ancano, Fingers is a lot of damage. I mean, Mag does have an answer technically with the Headless Zombie and Tinkering. Also just can spend this this Brahmin here. Goes for Tinkering now. Interesting. Sacks one of the messengers, I would imagine.
Do you grab aspect or do you grab failings? Yeah,
You grab
grabs the
aspect, yeah.
Right. Oh.
You can Tinkering the aspect if you really want.
Oh
my god.
Criminal pools. Oh.
There really is no justice against Telvanni, is there? Again, if I was in Ross's position, I would be so unbelievably annoyed.
And Telvanni has lethal now.
Yeah. Ross did everything right this game, but it didn't matter because Telvanni just had the Telvanni draw. So whenever people wonder what I mean when I talk about Telvanni doing the Telvanni thing or getting Telvanni, this is what I'm talking about. It's this exact situation.
At least you can remove the aspect.
Yeah,
You will have
Fort Bolt
fingers next turn.
Yeah, this does put Ross, or this puts Mag in range of Lightning Bolt, but we know of, like, there's Tinkering in hand, there's Alter, so you can, like, Mag is likely gonna cycle off this Messenger now. Plus, there's another Odinir in hand, which is another 4 effective health with bringing back a, a Messenger. Yeah, goes for Tinkering.
Ah, yes.
Yes, of course, Odiving. Of course, naturally. Second Odiving.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, okay, alright, natural knock. That's fine. Yeah, gets back another messenger to clear off the 4-2. You find Abner. You can Abner
oh, that.
the Odiving. You draw a card off of the messenger trigger here.
Playing that field
You,
means that you're going to use the fingers on Oda afterwards.
well, yeah, well, you can't target the Iron Natural, so you have to.
Yeah.
But we do know that Mag just has another
the
Viper in
Viper.
hand. Also has a Cruel Fire Bloom, because of course. Eclipse Baroness comes down. Finds a Balmora Spymaster. Yeah, High Defender. Probably just going to see the Altar finally make its way down this turn. Does go for it. Go for Spymaster. You can go Fire Bloom on the Spymaster, or you can just use the Altar to get the trigger.
Just
Guess the Uncle
show
him.
me a path already. Okay.
Oh my god! Oh, for God's sake!
Oh.
Oh god, this is unbelievable.
Oh man.
Absolute ridiculous. Like,
I bow to your victory.
Meg could have made the Atronach 24-24. That's, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
He could have set him to 1, but oh, what a way to lose a set.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Ross losing to that, because again, if it was me, I would have been so unbelievably tilted.
And that is that was the second match in round 2, which means that this is the current bracket we have. We have a single round left. It will be Hospital versus Core and Ender versus Cat. After the second round, the standings are as follows. Ender is in first place with a 6-0 record, 100% win rate. This could change, but even with 6-3, you're fine to go through to the finals. So I would say we have one finalist already. Then we have Mag with 4-4, 50%, and Core with 3-4. I'm trying to see if there is a line in which Hospital survives here, but even if he goes 4-6 versus you next 4-6 3-0 next turn, he will be 4-6 and you would be 3-8. It will depend on how Meg versus Ender goes. So you could end up with Ross surviving, but there is just a slim chance for that. And welcome back. Here we go with the final round in the 5th stage in the final summer tournament. We will watch Hospital versus Score first, and then we'll end on Megacat versus Endozer. So in this matchup, we have fairly similar lineups because we have two decks same. Both the Empire Aggro and the Mid-VM are present in both players' lineups. Then on Hospital side, we have mid-range Archer and Digletsworn. And from core, we have Token Crusader and the Redrun. I would even argue the mid-range Guildsworn and the Redrun are fairly the same, so it's basically just one deck that is really being different here.
Yeah, myself and Ross have very similar like preferences when it comes to playstyle. We're both very we're both big on mid-range. As you can tell by like the fact that we both brought two mid-range and two technically aggro decks. I say technically because the Archer can play a mid-range game plan, but usually wants to be a little bit more aggressive in the early game, looking to stack buffs with the move package, things like the Dune Smugglers and whatnot. Whereas I went with the more go wide stack buffs Crusader list in that slot. Other than that, the lineups are very, very similar. Like I said, the Guildsworn and the Red Run do mostly the same thing. They're there to target some of the other quicker decks and like win on board with big stats and removal. So yeah, lineups are very, very similar. So it's going to be, I think, a very interesting matchup. I wouldn't be surprised as far as bans go. I could see myself like respect banning the Battle Mage. Again, Empire is always on the chopping block. I wouldn't be surprised to see a mirrored Empire ban here. I could also see myself potentially banning the Archer just because it has a lot of burst potential, and I'm not sure how that's going to line up versus my slightly slower mid-range decks, such as like the Red Run, for example.
Yeah, the
So yeah,
Archer is just as mid-range as the as like we say goblins are mid-range technically, but it's still mid-grow if we have the mid-grow as a category in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they can play a longer game plan. They don't necessarily want to.
Seems like we have the Archer band and the Battle Mage band.
Respecting the burst potential out of the Archer with the Swift Strikes and the buff stacking on the Dune Smugglers, and Ross looking to ban out the mid-range Battle Mage here as well.
And with that, we are ready to move into game 1. It will be Empire versus Token Crusader.
I think this is the first set that Ross has been allowed to play Battle Mage. I think everyone else banned this.
Yeah.
As Ross finds a Recruiter, Mammoth, and Trapper. I find a Trainer, Dawnbreaker, Scout Patrol, and Rifthane. We go turn 1. Scouting Patrol. Ross answers with a turn 1 Recruiter.
Oh, Pit Lion.
We find the Pit Line. Interesting that I marked the damage there. Very interesting that I marked the damage in that situation. Ross goes full development. I likely just drop a Pit Line here. Get in for 1.
I could have seen you play the Rift Thane because it was on defense duty, and it would have been at 3 power, trading with everything in field.
Yeah, I think it's just slightly better this turn, because I can play the Profiteer alongside. I also have Dawnbreaker. Yeah, I think this is just going to be Profiteer plus Rifthane. See Darkmane off the top. So Ross can go Trainer plus Darkmane.
And you can play the Cliff Racer next turn in the Shadow Lane, move the Darkmane, get the Drain, get the buff, and then just charge face with the Cliff Racer.
Yeah. Yeah, lets you race this Pit Line a little bit easier. Yeah, Trainer comes down in Shadow.
If Trainer goes Shadow, I can see the Darkmane develop the field. Okay, yeah, this is better. Just move to field.
We find a Resolute Ally. Yeah, and super awkward here for me. Just drop the ally, 100% hit rate on the allies. Every card in the deck is willpower, technically. Oh, this is, yeah. Edict does a very clean out to the Pit Line here.
Edict break through the Resolute Ally and just go face with everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is unrecoverable from the edict draw. Couple of bad top decks on my side, and the edict is a massive blowout.
Standing by.
Yeah, goes for the edict, trades over. Find a Kiva.
Alternatively, Ross could have just decided to go face with everything, playing Cliff Racer, and it would have set you to 3 or 4 health, if I counted correctly.
Did you hear that?
Go Kiva, get the defenses down. Second Cliff Racer for us. Yeah, just a unfortunate set of draws when you look at the hand. Double Assault, Dawnbreaker plus House Carl.
This is lethal present on the board, depending on if you get the prophecy, but you don't, and that means Ross has taken game 1.
Yeah.
Looked like a token mirror to me.
Yeah. Just the way the draws fell, I just was not able to get back on board. My hand was full of unplayable things versus an Empire deck that had nothing but playable things. So
Yeah, and it showcased how the Token Empire can trade favorably with most of the things just from the buffs and the high health creatures it has.
yeah. As Ross lines up with the Battle Mage. As I once again run back the Crusader here. Once again, find a series of 4 drops in a hand of in a deck of primarily 2 and 1 drops. You pitch it back, find ourselves, yet more 4 and 3 drops again in the deck primarily full of 2 and 1 drops.
Training is over. It's
Trainer
time
off the
to
top.
act.
That is at least playable. Ross has a Ring Doomfang.
It's the ward.
Mm-hmm. Could just go Resolute Ally to keep it out of range of this Doomfang. Do in fact. But Ross will have a Ring Bolt to answer.
See you dead.
And with the ward he can trade favorably. I could have seen you attack the ward after the buff goes through just to get rid of it.
It's time to
So
act.
Trainer plus Priest just to set up a trade and potentially a pit line on the following turn. But once again, Ross does have a Bolt plus trade or Bolt plus Wardcrafter if they want. Bolt plus trade. We find Fervor with no creatures in play.
You'll still play it.
Eh,
Chimeric spirit
Yeah.
of the sky, guide us.
There's just no other good line there, unfortunately.
Ross finds Cunning Ally. This will set up the Breton Conjure on the following turn. Could go for Wardcrafter.
Watch yourself.
It does go for Wardcrafter. Targets the 3/3. Finding ourselves a Rift Thane. Yeah, back-to-back games without the ring also has not helped. I don't think. Yeah, Rift Thane goes Shadow. Develop the captain here as well, just to develop bodies. Ross finds a Luzra off the top. But we're likely just going to see Breton Conjurer and Firebolt. No, goes for the Tel'Vas Magister instead. Second captain off the top, so I can go for Priest of the 8 here. Cycle a card. Finding Cloud Rest off the top, go for the pit lane.
I'll break their spirit.
A little bit of a misplay on the trade order there. As Ross can just fire off this Mighty Conjuring. Take 2 value trades.
And even
Answering Firebolt
quite,
on 3-1. Yeah. Second priest D8 here. Yeah, the way I traded last turn was very much incorrect. Cycle, find Crusader's Assault. I have to take the ward off the 8-8 here. Daggerfall Mage.
You will have the assault next turn. I'm afraid it might be too late. But you have a fervor, so you can go a bit longer.
Yeah, once again, the draw is betraying me. Yeah. So I marked the damage with 3-2, go for the assault on the Cloud Rest.
You could...
I could
Reverse the
captain,
captain, yeah.
but that only draws me a single card. I think I need to dig deep.
Let's see the draws.
Yeah, draw 2.
Riftain and
Riften and
oh,
Pit Line. Yeah, the fact that I have not seen a single 1-drop this game, no Scouting Patrol, no Markman. The only 2-drops I've seen were the Trainers and the Rifthanes here. Yeah, just a very, very poor draw on my side, which is really unfortunate.
I
Ross has an
anticipate an
Abner here.
Abner on the mercenary captain.
Yeah, you can go Abner on Captain, or you can go Abner and get a Firebolt.
For the Breton next turn.
Yeah. Gets in for 3, finds a Ward Crafter.
I honestly think you just, ditch the Breton, go for Warcrafter Abner off your board, and you have lethal next turn.
Yeah, comes the Abner. Yep, on the Captain. Consumes the boss. East March Crusader off the top.
I'll break your spirit. Hold the line.
East March Cycle, find Kiva. Go Pit Line, go Ally. But this is unfortunately too late to start finding the proactive cards as Ross top decks a Fingers.
Even the defenses would not have been enough.
Yeah. Yeah, once again losing to the draws more than anything else, which is really unfortunate to see.
And here we go for game 3. Eaglesworn versus Token Empire.
Opening hand, find a range Mudcrab on turn 1.
So in the last stage, you brought Midguldsworn versus the Empires, but the Empires defeated the Midguldsworn every time.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if it was just bad luck, or maybe you can defeat the Midguldsworn here.
Let's take the trade. Unfortunate that I have to actively pass turn 2 because I have once again failed to draw any of the 2 draws, which once again the most prominent slot on the curve is 2 in Aggro Empire. the draws for me in this stage were beyond abysmal, I have to say. Ross finds a assault off the top. Gets to trade over the Apprentice Necro. triggers the pilfer on the thief, and then we'll trigger the assault effect.
On Javelin.
This is also, I believe, the third game in a row with no ring for me.
Care to make a friendly wager?
This was not my day. Ross finds a fingers here, but we're just gonna see ring, conjurer, exalted.
Although you cannot play Ring of Feet next turn because you don't have any ring charges left, you will still be able to play the second Conjurer.
Yeah, but no,
Risen
this is gonna be
Assault.
a this is gonna
Oh,
be a fingers.
you go Forge.
Honestly, maybe.
Well, what drain creatures do you have? You have a Darkmane.
Darkmane, yeah, that's pretty much it. And there's the only pilfer in the deck is Empire Recruiter. So I think, unironically, this is most likely a Forge pick. As you can see, I have to think about it because it's... If the game goes long, Heist might just win me the game. I do go for the Heist,
You bet on the wrong side.
but Ross will just... well, he's one mana off the Fingers turn here. And I am able to go with Recruiter plus plus Oathman. Gives me a couple of value trades here.
To be honest, this does not look that bad for you.
Yeah, I've slowly managed to pull this back a little bit.
We will just see the Elfie,
Fingers...
I think.
Yeah. I think you have to play the Elfie here.
If you can field, if you try to pull a favorable, which you will, it will leave 2 creatures at 1 health in your... Oh!
Hands ever ready.
Huh.
Moon Bishop off the top. Go for
That
Fervor.
was an interesting turn from Ross.
Go for the Moon Bishop plus the Suspect, I imagine here. I think it's a little bit more stat efficient than just playing the Kiva.
Yeah, did the Fervor on this is twice.
Silent as the grave.
Yeah. Moon Bishop coming down to the 2/6s. Pretty scary. Ross doesn't have that good of a fingers this turn. Can clear the 5/2. But you can deal 3 to something else. Like you're taking out the Oathman and like the Merchant, but that's like it. Does have to commit to it. Marks the damage on the Suspect. Get in for 3. For 4.
Or the
Have a
ship.
Prophecy. But we have Cliff Racer, so this is lethal.
Speak, citizen. For Father Sithis.
The Empire was just one step ahead in tempo after the first few turns when you finally found your board.
Yeah, skipping turn 2 absolutely sucked. But yeah, luckily managed to pull it back with the turn 5 Osa, thankfully.
Osa and then the Oathman on the Osa was highly
Yeah.
impactful. Crusader and Brethren left. Also, you winning with Empire means that Ross cannot 3-0 you anymore, which means that Ross is now for sure eliminated after this stage. If you could go 3-2, then it would be between you and Mag, depending on the Mag-Endo matchup. But you need to find some victories yet. We'll see if you can manage that. There is just the Rage Guildspawn left.
Given how how these last 3 games have gone, I'm pretty sure I only have 1 win in me. I'm gonna keep an eye on the draws here because if I continue to draw absolute garbage, It's gonna be very difficult to get more than just the one win here. We do. We finally have ring this game though, so that's something at least. Turn 1 Profiteer. Ross responds with a Wardcrafter. This could just be execute ring protector. Get in for 2, or get in for 3 rather. Do go for the execute ring protector line. Next turn we can go for the young mammoth. Ross does have Shrieking Harpy here to lock me up for a turn. Could also just develop the apprentice.
It's still the harpy. Yeah.
Yeah. Rift Thane. Yeah, just get in for 3. Play the mammoth.
5 defender for this.
Defender is solid here, but does get answered by the gatekeeper in hand. You also find a rapid shot.
To gatekeeper, you can break the ring by your Rift Thane too. We'll be on the aggressive side.
Considering it here.
And
I
there
do
we
go for it.
Now the thing is, your hand is almost empty.
Yeah. Oh, Russ finds a rapid shot here. So you can rapid shot the ping off the mammoth.
Jam.
Kills our apprentice, cycle a card. And I think you're always pinging off the 6-1 here. Yeah.
Oh,
Edict off the top.
yeah, you don't really want to edict this.
Yeah, and this is a very clean fingers for us on the following turn. Haunting Spirit. Yeah, trade over.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, at least you have the edict.
Speak, citizen.
don't think I care. I think I just developed the spirit here.
Problem is this fingers will be a 1, 2, and 3 will only leave the Haunting Spirit alive.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's still board presence, so...
Ross also has the spinner for the Haunting Spirit next turn.
Seducer off the top for me. Get him for 3. Play the Seducer. Again, maintaining field lane. Ross can develop a Belligerent Giant here. Does develop a Belligerent Giant. Flips back to the Seducer.
I actually think you flip the Harpy.
Or the Spirit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Second. Yeah, another Spirit off the top. The reason I was, yeah. I mean, this is still fine. We'll go for Spirit.
Because this way you gained health, which means Ross can go face for that longer without breaking a rune on your side and giving you a card.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're basically stagnant on board with the two 3 attack drains. Goes for the Elfiq. I find an initiate of my own off the top. Get in. Lightly trading over the Atronach here. And just deploying my 2/3/3s.
Speak, citizen.
Profiteer off the top for Ross. Does have an active Elfiq here. But is the active Elfiq better than Bolt Javelin? Ross says no.
We must protect our stronghold.
So
Goes for
we can
the-
douche the...
oh.
Yeah.
Trying to protect the initiate. This initiate on Ross's side has gained so much health already.
Yeah. We fight a Blood Dragon, but the Blood Dragon is immediately taken out by the Javelin in hand. Hive Defender for Ross.
And
We
you
find
do
an execute.
action.
Yeah. An action that does nothing on this board state. And Ross top decks another Javelin. Profiteer into Elfiq. Discerning Thief. Yeah, you just play the Elfiq now on field. Oh, plays it in shadow. Interesting.
I guess you do have a guard in field, so you could go shadow. It also protects your initiate. That will
Javelin,
be
take out the
used
Atro.
on the
Yeah.
Etheria.
Harpy for us. Gets in, cycles off. I would imagine the spinner or the harpy here.
I think it's the Harpy.
Yeah.
Because you can always just spinner anything that goes to the shadow lane. You could also just jab it.
Now I start finding the card draw after my board is has been removed. Go wrap shot here. Finding a spinner. You know, spinner. Suppress the drain. Jab the card draw. Vigilant Giant for us. Cradle Crush. Wardcrafter. As we top deck a prophecy.
At least with the Cloud Rest you can...
Oh my god, draws 3 prophecies back to back to
well,
back.
you can remove the... you can remove
Yeah, this
the 8-8.
this does deal with the giant at least, but I'm still dead, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, no.
Oh my god. Yeah, the dichotomy of draws here was yeah, I did not enjoy this stage. The draws were not on my side for pretty much any of the matches outside of the set with Mag.
So with this 3-1 for this, it will mean that both you and Ross will have the same scoreline at the end. And it will also mean that, let me count, yes, both of you are 4-6. So if Endo claps Mag 3-0, then one of you will move on, which would be Ross, because he's won the head-to-head. But even if Endo wins 3-1, then Endo and Mag will move on. So we'll see that in the last match. And for the last match of the day, it is Endo versus Mag. The most aggressive lineup versus the most defensive. What are we expecting?
I think Endo is going to be favored here. Endo's decks are very, very quick. So I don't know if Mag is going to be able to get off the mark quick enough with the defensive tools to keep Endo at bay. Plus, Endo's decks run a lot of burst damage, especially like the Assassin and the Dominion, with the likes of Swift Strike and all the items being generated by things like Sentinel Claimer and Seeding Courier. So I think Endo should be able to like close this out relatively quickly with the amount of reach from hand he has access to. But we'll see. I've been wrong before.
And what do you think will be the bans?
If I had to guess, Endo's likely just going to ban the Empire. It's going to be Empire or Telvanni, I think, just because, again, Telvanni can do the Telvanni thing, and it doesn't matter what deck you play, you can just lose to the high roll. But if you're Mag, I think it's either the Assassin or the Dominion, I think.
It is Telvanni and Empire.
Okay, yeah, the Empire makes sense. Again, no one wants to play against Empire, so Empire ban makes sense. And Endo does, in fact, respect the fact that Telvanni can just win games through high rolls, so yeah, makes sense.
And here we go. Game 1. It is Dominion versus Empire.
Okay. This should be a relatively fair match for Endo, provided the Empire does not hit critical mass of the buffs early. See a opening hand of Flameslinger, Gambler, and Darkmane for Endo. And we're seeing Gambler, Trapper, and Profiteer for Mag. Drops Flameslinger, finds Battle Reeve, which is pretty good here. And a second Gambler. So Mag is like just going to develop this Trapper.
Preparations have been made.
Goes for the Profiteer instead. Endo could offer the Darkmane trade, does in fact. Goes for the Gambler. Ditching the Cliff Racer.
That's a daunting line.
Yeah. So Endo looking at developing the Gambler here, probably pitching the Thief, I would say. Yeah. Mag finds the Fervor and a Brotherhood Suspect off of the Gambler draws and a Apprentice Necro turn. It's going to see Suspect plus Trapper come down to 2 1-drops. As Endo finds Cloudrust plus Execute. Goes for the Hive Defender. Mag can ring out the Fervor here, but is going to go for the free trade instead with the Cloudrust line. You could go Execute plus Dune Smuggler. Execute the Trapper. Dune Smuggler takes trade with the Suspect. Instead, we're just going to see the Cloudrust plus Execute come down.
Chimeric spirit of the sky,
Fervor.
guide us.
I was about to say that you have fingers shortly, but this Fervor will make the fingers infinitely worse.
Yeah. I mean, you probably still take it.
My power is not to be underestimated.
Oh, interesting. Ditching the Smuggler. Yeah. Haunting Spirit for Mag. Mag could just ring out Wilds Incarnate. Draws you a card. Yeah, but it's a 6/7, and it takes 2 trades here, as Mag finds another Cloud Rest.
Oh,
Seedanine. Seedanine's a very clean answer to this. Also keeps your Battle Reeve alive.
you could even just move the Battle Reeve, Doom Smuggler, take a trade in field if you want to. Alternatively, Sedanine and the Fervor is also a
Fervor,
play.
yeah. I think it's Fervor here.
I do agree, it's just better. But so you have to match the you have to match the Fervor from Mag if you want to play this out.
Yeah.
Preparations have been
Profiteer comes down into Cliff Racer, taking the value trade over the Battle Reeve. This is a very clean fingers this turn. Doesn't mean you're not developing your board though, if you wish to take it. Well, I mean you can complete a contract the Smuggler with the contract from the Suspect here. So you do get a little bit of development if you want to take it. Does take it. Pushes the Seedanine into field. Gets in for 1. Mag finding a Mournhold Trader off the top. Probably going to see some combination of Emperor's Blade and one of the 3-drops. Go for the Apprentice Necro here. Pulling back probably Trapper. And then the Blade likely in Shadow. Or you can go for a 3-drop plus the Trader.
Choose decline. More efficient, magic-wise.
Yeah, it's more proactive. Yeah, this I think is the Fervor turn. You can Fervor, you can Cloud Rest, so you can take the trade with the Trapper. It's still awkward, right?
Yeah, I was trying to see if there is a better line with the Cliff Racer, but I think Cloudrest is just the best you can do here.
Yeah. Yeah, no matter what you're doing, you're playing a 5-drop and Cloud Rest. Yeah, you can Cloud Rest one of the 4/4s.
A little distraction might prove useful.
Take your beats. Mike finds a Gavel and an Empire Oathman. So this blade does activate the Oathman.
I'll try to draw their fire.
But we'll just see Cloudrest.
Yeah.
From Ender
Cloudrest
to
response.
from Mech to, yeah.
Midnight Trespasser.
This is the problem with not developing Fervor 3 turns ago.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
So your dagger gets you over the blade. But you're now in a position where you're just still losing in field lane. you're ahead on life, but I don't. It's I don't know if the Dominion has the staying power to finish this game out. I don't think it does.
And Meg also has card advantage. It's just one card, really. But it's still a card.
Markman.
Markman. Even better.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna see we're gonna see a full hand dump here, I think, from Mag. We're gonna see the mammoth come down, we're gonna see the Oathman. Plus the gavel. Yeah, mammoth. Oathman. A full committal from Mag. I don't think there is anything in Endo's deck that pulls him back into this.
Nope.
You can trade with the defenses, you can trade with the trader.
It will leave you a 3-2 guard. It will be traded by a 5-5. And the mech has 12 plus 7, 19 plus 3.
Yeah,
That's still well over lethal.
Yeah, there's 19 in field lane alone. So yeah, trapper off stop, but this should just be lethal in.
And we have seen the cloud rests from Ender, so there is just the bolt.
Yeah. And that is game 1 to Mag.
So the aggressive deck is out. There is just 2 controls left. With Lalu and the Glitzworm.
Yeah. The Rage Halalu is a potentially rough matchup for Endo, but it's only rough for, I think, the Redrun. I think the Dominion and the Assassin have enough ward density that they don't really care too much about the Rage aspect of the deck. And the Guildsworn, I don't know if it's going to be consistent enough to weather the early aggression that Endo's decks can put out. So we do see
versus the Glitzworm.
Yeah. Likely going to see a interesting pitches the clan captain. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. As Mag finds Execute, Apprentice, Rapid Shot, and a Ren. Top decks a Dawn's Wrath.
Execute will be a good answer to the Algolothy.
Windkeep for Endo. Can Rapid Shot and just play your Apprentice here. Fell off the top. Rapid Shot cycle, breaks the ward. Finds a second Rapid Shot. Endo can just go for double 2-drop here. Rapid Shot to clear. Plus Crushing Blow. Relentless Raider for Endozoa.
You go Hunting Spirit and the Raider. And if you want, you can trade with the Raider next turn because you have the Apprentice Necro.
Aaron Light just gets back a Rapid Shot here, which is a free ping off on the Raider. But the Necro will pull it back. Skin Hound. I think you...
You don't need the buff on the Windkeep. So you can do everything first
Yeah.
and then...
Yeah, I think you're always double trading here.
That much is clear, especially since you are up against this control Guildsworn. Oh,
Ignores it. Oh, and the biggest prophecy in the game is behind the first rune here. Tear comes down. Yeah, guards up the Windkeep. God, that tier is... You can You could just like cast into time.
History
Take the trade. Land on the Hound. We don't really care.
Oh, Widerhand Cultist. A bit late though. You still play it, otherwise you would get Dawn's Rapid.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a fine execute. You can just play your Piercing Twilight.
Discard Skin Hound.
The single copy of Skin Hound in the deck
Oh, Fervor. Very good.
for a fantastic draw here. Cast into time. So you can go for a Channeled Storm. Yeah, Channel Storm, and then you can fell the Mighty of the 4/4 because the discounts. And from here, yeah, you just Abner, target the Aren, finds a fell, which you can just immediately clear up this Rift Thane with.
Oh, not the card that
Markman.
you were looking for.
Yeah.
But it's turn 9, so the aggro Rideren won't be having the best of draws for the rest of this game.
Wait. Did you hear that?
Profiteer.
Magnet finds the Profiteer, which means he can start to gain health.
They like someone who fights.
Yeah, Brigand is also going to come down here as well.
Point or your life. Choose.
Merchant off the top.
You go, Quamoki, I mean...
This is
You still, like, you don't want to give... Alright, so... Giving Firestorm there is just...
yeah, no, you're yeah, you want to clean up the feeling a little bit here, but that's just very funny.
Moves will shut down the Shadow Lane.
Yeah.
The top deck is another Marksman. Sower.
Soar's a great top deck though. And it is a 6/6. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean oh
It's still a good top deck. Mag just has the answer.
yeah.
Do you not fear me, mortal? You should.
Can't believe Endo's getting Telvanied by Gilsworn, that's crazy.
Did you hear that?
As Mag finds a Grow at Magus up top, but yeah, this is just a very clean cast into time, and then that's most likely gonna be the game. Quamas give you a bunch of board presents. The moose is forcing you into forcing you out of shadow. Oh, and the Channel Storm here.
I'll teach you to disrespect the god.
The Mag starts to go first. Does not have lethal this turn yet.
Yeah, it just
Okay,
fires off the because like how is Endo gonna pull this back over the course of one turn? You've got lethal on board.
Yeah. Markman gives you one guard. You could get another Markman, so that's 2 guards.
He's
And
gonna go
you
to Dual
just-
Markman here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put everything in field and then hope you are not dead. I would argue you play this card space scout first just to
Yeah, just to crush it and draw a
go
card.
one. Oh,
Oh man.
3-0 for Mag.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the day, Endo 3-0'd everyone. Now this might be a 3-0 for Mag.
I'm sorry, it's just the draws. The draws are so funny to me. Just how perfect they're.
So the good news for Endo is even if it goes 0-3, He's still 2.
Yeah, true.
So it for him it doesn't matter. And now that Meg has won 2, he will move on. So the finals will be Endo versus Meg. But still, you don't want to get 3-0'd. So what do you pick versus this Lalu?
Probably the Assassin or Dominion, I think. I think the Red Urn is the weakest into the Lalu, at least on paper.
And we will see the Red Ren.
Goes for the Red Urn, okay.
I guess if it doesn't matter, you might just try the weakest already.
Yeah, I mean, you have to win with it regardless, so you may as well try and get it out of the way.
Normally you would try to pick the better one because you move on by win rates, but at this point... Riftain turn 2. Not bad.
Yeah, solid top deck.
I would assume we'll see a Ring and the Initiate.
Speak, citizen.
Is it Shadow, which means that and a Cold? Yeah, just do that. I was trying to see if there was a line with Forerunner and the Assault, but you would not have been able to draw 2 anyway. Shadow Shift and Trade.
You Rift Thane first here, yeah. Pit line.
This means you will go Clan Captain and then Forerunner.
I know a shortcut.
Alternatively, you could have just gone Crusader's Assault, but this gives you more board presence for the Captain next turn. Feelings.
Phalanx. I mean, even with Captain, this is a very good Cradle Crush next turn.
I think you double trade and then Crusader Scout with Lion.
Yeah. Second Cradle. So we see the first Cradle come down.
Oh.
Ooh, House Carl is a nice little bit of refill here.
Yes.
We'll rebuild Skyler into the land she once was.
Finds a Apprentice Necro. Mag finds an Execute. Does have the Clouders Execute here for the pit line.
Now I could see Mercenary Captain and Crusader's Assault here. Just try to protect the House Carl. We just go for the Assault. And then it's Apprentice Necro.
Apprentice and Scout, yeah.
Pull back the Scout and play the Scout.
Yeah, that sets you up for Captain next turn. But Saisahan is gonna have yeah, Saisahan is gonna sweep some of this up. 5-cost Clouders and 3-cost 5th Legion Trainer off the top, plus some Mudcrab Merchant.
At least you're still drawing from the House Carl.
Yeah, I think you still just go 5th Legion, Mudcrab, and then Mercenary Captain.
Oh.
Read my lips.
Sapper. I mean, I think you take Sapper here. Takes the guard, okay. Goes Fervor. Finds the Smash Crusader.
I guess this is good because you can protect your House Carl.
Yeah.
Unless there will be a Cradle coming in the field. Which there will be.
Yeah. Mag also top decked another Riftain, which is going to be a 2/4 guard. Which is very good in this situation. Oh, I did not see the Monk Strike in hand. Oh my god.
Oh.
Completely missed the Monk Strike. Yeah, Rift thing comes down as a 2/4. I did not see that Monk Strike in the
Neither
hand
did
at
I.
all. That is big health swing for Mag here. Yeah, this hand does not feel great in this situation. Bleak Coast, Raider, and I guess Crusader's Assault trade over the Rift Thane.
Nothing like
Goes
Go for
for
the
the
captain here. Yeah. Have to keep the Gearbox Spider just in case the future Mudcrab merchants offer you more of them. As Mag top decks a Sheer Point. Sheer Point also pretty solid here. You could also just maximize your Bruma healing this turn. But does go for the Sheer Point, doesn't clear up an extra creature this turn.
That was a fatal mistake.
Spinner.
Spinner. I think we're always assaulting over the 3/1 first. Because you're trading with the Scion field. You're most likely silencing the initiate. East March finds Dragentail Savior. Spinner targets the
Oh.
3/1. Okay. Choosing to leave the initiate up and running. Scourge for Mag here.
I would assume the reason to split lanes is the rage, because rage on the initiate would have been terrible.
Yeah. So Scourge comes down. Cradle Crush comes down.
Oh, and this will activate the Scourge's last gasp, so you'll get
Yeah.
two curses. Both of
They're
them
both
will
-2, -2.
-2,
Yeah.
-2.
Yeah. Very heads up line here from Mag. Steel Scimitar.
You just play
Into the
everything in
hand to
field.
Myrtle. Yeah. Pretty much. Like, no matter what happens, your day gets ruined by Shadow Shift Rage.
Okay, split somewhat, just to be sure.
Brynjolf. Yeah, that's game.
your coin or your life. Choose.
Brigand.
Shall we put in a dishonest?
Into Brynjolf. Into Sapper.
There is no
Nice.
prophecy that would save you from this one.
Nope. But
And there are
also
chances
had
for
the assault
prophecies
here.
with the assault. Yeah.
Yeah. Endo pulling back a game here. So does 2/1 still to Mag.
But the theoretically worst matchup is out of the way.
Yeah.
There is Assassin and Dominion left versus the Control Fladu.
Yeah, again, I think the ward density of the Assassin and the Dominion, I think give him a bit of an edge here, plus the ability to generate a lot more damage from hand with the Reclaimers and stuff. Plus Alfiq is just very, very good into a lot of decks.
Indeed.
Particularly
At least
slower decks.
It's easier to run the Assassin and the Dominion out of cards. So that's what Mag will have to try to do here.
We see a turn 1 Warcrafter, likely going to be followed up with a turn 2 Cunning Ally. Profiteer off the top for Mag.
Do you play the Execute or the Profiteer? Seems like Meg decided for the Execute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's shed some
Cunning Ally comes
light
down.
on the problem.
Does in fact hit. We find a Skaven. Not a bad Skaven, but it's the what's the ally in range of being traded. But he's going to offer the Profiteer here.
Let's sacrifice for the Firebolt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Poor Harpy.
This is now an even better Skaven, but you might just opt to go for a High Defender here. Does indeed. Temple Conjurer, right on time. It's going to be ringed with the Exalt.
It is going to be your third ring charge, so you cannot off-peak next turn.
I mean, it's still worth it.
Obviously, yeah.
It's so much tempo. As Scourge comes down. Mag softening up some of the trades here. Ooh, Ghostgate Defender also can be exalted here, which clears up. Can clear up the Scourge.
You could, if you want to, target the High Defender trade,
Yeah.
and then just go
And then get him for
face.
5.
This will protect. Oh, protect.
Oof.
This would have protected your 5/3, but not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think it's fine if it dies. You've got the Alpha in hand. As Mag deploys the second Scourge here. We're just going to see a turn 6 Alpha Conjurer.
There is,
But the-
however, 2 curses and the Sheer Point in Magicat's hand.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a Piercing Javelin. So,
Curse Jab, trade with everything.
mm-hmm.
Second Drifting in the Shadow Lane, just more guards.
Yeah. Channel Storm.
I could see Fingers, but
I think you just develop the
yeah, you want to
Discerning
play
Thief
the
first.
Thief.
Okay, does go for it. Brigand off the top for Mag. No Brigands have died this game, so it is not active. Just a 3 cost 3/4. Reclaimer.
This is a clean Conjurer Reclaimer turn. You could do the Thief and then Reclaimer next turn, ditch the Dagger.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think you're... Okay, Conqueror Master makes it a little bit easier as well.
Kano.
And Kano. Sheer Point plus Curse clears up the Thief. That is a pretty solid Encano target, though. Seedanin Courier.
And now we have to count with the Swiss Strike.
Yeah.
Sedanin is +3 with the Swiss Strike, it's +6. There is a dagger from the Quartermaster, and there is a dagger and a sword from the Reclaimer. So you could just try to set up for a lethal next turn. Like, you play Ancano, you play the Quartermaster.
Yeah. Like, we always have to clear off this Sheer Point, I think.
Agreed.
Gets in. And Candle's gonna come down. Oh, interesting. Goes for Channel Storm. Is just going to set up... Yeah, this makes a lot more sense. Apologies for not seeing the correct lines here. Skaven comes down. Into Phalanx. Crafter. We might be just a little bit too slow here. Steel Sword gets you through the Phalanx, gives you enough mana left over to go for the Encano. Encano can clear off.
The reason I would have liked the Encano more last turn is because you still could have played the Reclaimer this turn. equip the Steel Sword, equip the Seidenines +3, and do the strike, and then you would have had a target with breakthrough.
Yeah. Yeah, the breakthrough is the like the big thing here.
Because now you just have to equip Steel Sword and Dagger trade with Warcrafter.
See, the problem is that still leaves you dead on board. So like it has to be Steel Sword, double trade in Shadowlane into the Phalanx, and then Ancano, either the Scourge or the Brigand. And even then, we're still dead to like we're potentially dead from hand. But like you're forced to take this line now of Steel Sword plus Ancano to like not lose the game on the spot and potentially win
Then
next
double
turn, but you're
dagger
losing
is.
the sword.
I think double dagger would have been better than the Steel Sword, but it's still fine.
Yeah. Oh yes, double dagger. Yeah, because the Steel Sword is +3, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Double dagger was better then.
You have met your end.
So we go to 3.
Supreme Dragon,
Supreme.
Give me an A.
Slayer,
Slayer.
and Rifthane. Oh, but
So
Rifthane
Endo.
is in aggro mode.
Yeah.
Wait,
So Endo gets it
Seidenine.
here if there is no javelin in any of
3,
these
6,
runes.
8. You can equip 8 power on the 3 power Ancano you have right now, which will put it to 11.
I think you just go double Seedonine attack if there's nothing, so strike for lethal. This way you're only breaking. Yeah,
If you would have equipped the 2 steel daggers first, then gone face for 4, then
Yeah,
equip
that's lethal.
everything else and do this strike, then you could have skipped 2 runes instead of just 1.
Yeah. You know, that's fair, yeah. But yeah, Endo ties it up 2-2.
Alright, so in the end we did get a 5-game best of 5, and it is the last match today, so it's just the proper way to end this between the first and second place. It will be Dominion versus Lalu.
Two tricolors that are very rarely seen in tournament. Opening hand for Mag is looking very good, actually. Protector, Slime Marshblade, Grave Weapon Brigand, and a Hive Defender. And opening hand for Endozo, also looking very, very good with the Crown Quartermaster. Turn 1, also Moorhull Trader, Ghost Gate, and a Black Dragon. Mag finds a Rapid Shot off the top. We're just going to see the Protector come down. Top decks a Dominion Battle Reeve. Could just ring Battle Reeve here. Yeah, trade ring Battle Reeve. As Mag finds another Slime Marshblade. Rapid Shot clears up the Traitor. And develops the Marshblade alongside. So strike off the top. This, I think, is... I think you're happy enough to take the Exalted Ghost Gate here.
Oh, definitely.
Takes your last ring charge, but it also maintains your board. I can also see just the trade and then ring Black Dragon is also like reasonable.
Let's
go for the Ghost Gate. This does get punished a little bit by the Hive Defender. Hive Defender just a very, very good guard.
Yeah, but you can just play the
in this
Blood Dragon,
situation.
and then Black Dragon, and then just not attack, which forces Mag to trade into the 1/3, and you can Black Dragon the Hive Defender.
Let's heat things up.
Gavin.
I stand ready.
Smash Blade.
Also,
Trade.
Hive Defender is a very good target to discard.
Yes. Particularly in this matchup where you are trying to be as aggressive as you can be. Goes for a Shadow Shift here. Finds East March. This is East March a very good top deck here actually. You can go East March plus Quartermaster.
This line is interesting. I could, like, you could have just shadow shifted afterwards.
Phalanx.
Distraction might prove useful.
We're going to see the Clouders Execute come out. Very high tempo removal play on Mag's end here, as we find a Dune Smuggler.
I honestly think this could be just Doom Smuggler without the effect.
I think, like, you could Dune Smuggler the Crusader. Javelin. Yeah, take your trade here. You could Dune Smuggler the Crusader because you have Fingers next turn. Does in fact not go for it. Very interesting.
Now, Meg will play the Feelings, you have the Fingers for it. Oh,
Dawnbreaker.
is just better.
Ooh, see the Neen. And a Shadow Shift.
Shadow shifting the Smuggler means that you can trade with Hive Defender.
Goes for the Dawnbreaker. Gets in. Takes the trade. Goes for Discerning Thief.
Instead, you just keep your Shadow Lane.
Scourge is an incredible draw.
Swift Strike. Oh, Stalker. Just play the body. Don't use the effect. Like, Swift Strike and Seidanin next turn means that if this Crusader survives, it is presenting lethal.
Your coin or your life. Choose.
I think this is a little bit of a misplay from Mag. I would have preferred to have seen him play the Scourge, then crush the Scourge with the Brigand to remove 2 bodies here.
There is a Smuggler.
Smuggler
and
plus Shadow Shift. Yeah.
So that's +1, +2. It can be 5. 5 plus 3 from Seidanin. That's... Oh, but you only have 8.
Yeah, you're one mana short.
Can you still find lethal somehow?
Like, yeah, you cycle first. Oh, Seidanin, I think
you
does
can.
this. Yeah,
you can,
Seidanin
because
does
double
it.
Seidanin means +6, so it will be a 9 power 3/1, and you can Swift Strike it.
Yeah, you just discard Smuggler here, play your double Seidanins, see if there's a prophecy on the well, you play 1, see if there's a prophecy. Yeah, then you play the second one, Swift Strike.
And if it would have been a prophecy, you can still go for the Fingers. I don't know if it would have helped you, but this makes just sure to skip the last turn.
Yeah.
And Endo wins 3-2.
Yeah.
A convincing day from this aggro lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, a very, very potent aggro lineup.
With that, we have the final version of the bracket we started the day with Endo versus Rospiadol, Endo 1-3-0. Then we've gone and watched Megacat versus CoreData, Core 1-3-1. Then Endo slapped Core 3-0. Megacat won 3-1 against Rospiadol, Rospiadol won 3-1 against Core. And in the last match, Endo won 3-2 versus Megacat.
So, for the total win rates, that leaves us as follows. Endozoa taking first place, going 9-2 with a total of 81.8% on the win rate side. Magacket in second place, going 6-7 with a 46% total win rate. And then Rospirdal and myself tied up, both going 4-7 on a 36.3% win rate. Ross does edge me out into P3 just because he won the head-to-head versus myself.
And with that, the elimination table, the last elimination table looks as follows. Rospital and Core will be eliminated at the 3rd and 4th place. And in the last stage, Endozo will face off versus Megacat in a best of 11 with 8 decks banning 2.
That wraps up this, I believe, 5th stage of the summer tournament. This is the January 3rd stream, obviously. We have one more stream left to go, which is going to be January 31st, which is going to be the final stage, which, as we have mentioned before, is going to be a best of 11 between Maggacket and Endozoa.
And that will wrap up the stream for today. So thank you for watching, and we will see you in under a month. Until then, servus und farewell, Isten Ovian.
Take care now.